George with 4 to shoot, into the lane, finds an open senior for 3 in the lead. Rebound tap to Leonard, and he lays it in. We're tied at 117. Sizing up his defender, 5 to shoot. Step back for the lead. Hot damn! Kawhi Leonard puts the Clippers out in front by 2.
Like that. What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull-Up Show. My name is BJ Matthews, aka B. Just before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull-Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe all of our YouTube videos by hitting the notification bell by the subscribe button as well. If you're donating to the Pull-Up Basketball Podcast, you can do so by going to our Cash App right there. You can see on the ticker, $ BJ Matthews. Again, $ BJ Matthews. Or our YouTube page we have right there in the bottom right-hand corner of our chat. You can go hit that little message button on the right corner, and that's where you can donate through our YouTube page. You know what I'm saying? Donate what y'all feel. Appreciate all the support, and thank you to everybody that's been a part of this Pull-Up Basketball Podcast journey for the last couple of years, man. So let's get it popping. All right, man. So we got a good show for y'all today, man. LA Clipper talk again. Once we do it on every Saturday. I know we're a little bit late today, but hopefully get people in here. I'm gonna give people some time, check in. But another weekend of LA Clipper talk, man. If y'all in here, go hit that like button, as well as when you guys get in here, go and make that comment. And feel free to share the podcast with whatever your friends, basketball players, things of that nature. What do I have to say about the Clippers? Well, first a recap, of course, of the LA Clipper games, and we talk about what's happened thus far. My man, Young Africa, was good, bro. What's good, little bro? Hit that like button. We got to take about the recap of the Clipper games this week. They lost so far 2 games out of 3. They beat the Charlotte Hornets with a Kawhi Leonard, game-winning shot that y'all saw at the previews. And then they lost to the Orlando Magic and the Miami Heat on Wednesday and Thursday in back-to-back games. Both close games, of course, but in my opinion, they should have not lost those games. I'm going to get into reasons why in a minute. And kind of just what I feel about the Clippers this week and what I think they're going, the direction they're headed. And just a number of stuff that I've seen was like, you want to be encouraged, but it's just like little simple things that you just can't. Sometimes the problem to something and you just continuously do the same stupid shit. Like you keep doing it over and over, and it becomes very, very tedious. It becomes very, very annoying, right? The Clippers' problems are not big, but they're constant. And that's why I think people need to understand they're not huge problems with the Clippers. They have the team, the best team, in my opinion, that money can buy, the depth. They have, the coaching, Ty Lue, even though he does make some dumb mistakes, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. They have the experience mixed in with young talent, right? That's the thing. They don't just have guys who are young, but they have experienced guys. And they don't have guys who are just experienced, but they have young guys, right? So they have all that. They have the momentum. They have, the defensive players, the two-way players, things of that nature. But it all circles around between our best players, Kawhi and Paul George, not playing enough. And not just them not playing enough, but other players like John Wall, who's on minutes restrictions. Until we get those guys in rhythm and let them play and get the kinks out, you're going to continuously see this up and down flotation between this basketball team. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Make sure y'all hit that comment section. You're going to continue to see inconsistency. That's what I've been seeing with the Clippers, inconsistency. I see it in our play. I see it in our coaching. I see it with our fan base who supports one day and don't support the other day. I'm in Clipper talks as well, Clipper chats, and I see one day they have a great game. Kawhi Leonard takes, big game-winning shot against the Charlotte Hornets. Oh, yeah, he's back to clock. Next game, a couple nights later, oh, man, see, that's why we got to trade Kawhi or Paul George. Just wishy-washy behavior. So I get it, but the problem is consistency. Now, again, they got a game tonight against the Washington Wizards, which I expect them to win. Bradley Beal's out, Will Barton's out, and I think there's one other player that's out for the Wizards. So I expect them to get this win. But it bothers me when we lose to the teams like Orlando Magic, who's, I think, the worst team in the NBA record-wise. Even though I do like that kid, Paolo Banchero, he's the real deal. He hit all of his free throws down the stretch of the game. And, they have some guys on that team that can play. Bol, the big, tall African dude, Malik Bol's son, he found a place home in Orlando. There's other white, I forgot his name. He's the center of the Magic as well. He had a lot of big plays throughout the game, very consistent. It was showing, a lot of defensive grit. Their coach seems pretty solid. What's up, the realist? How you doing, man? Hit that like button. So Orlando's going to be fine about the next 3-5 years. They're like OKC, Houston, all the young teams, Orlando, are going to be on the same realm, for, the next few years. And, they'll be fine. It's just, they happen to, go through rebuilding stages like everybody else. But they lose to Orlando, right? They lose to Orlando down the stretch in overtime. And I want to talk to y'all a little bit about the frustration of a couple of players of what they feel about this, load management stuff. And I'm going to let y'all watch a little bit of a video, 2-minute video of one of the players who's been frustrated. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I played it last week. I'm going to play it again for people who did not see this. So here we go.
LA Confidential, what do you got for us?
John Wall last night played and had one of his better games, obviously with those guys out. But, he is behind the scenes, and he said this publicly as well. I think he's frustrated with how he's being used. I don't know. He's not like creating a stink about it by any means or anything like that. But I think John Wall would like to play more minutes right now. His minutes cap is at about 26. He played, I think, 25 last night. He's still not playing in both games of back-to-backs. He's still sitting out one. I asked him in Golden State, when is that restriction coming off? And he just looked at me with a frustrated look, and he said, I don't know. He obviously saying, I'm going to go with whatever the Clippers tell me to do and the medical staff, but he's saying this is something that's new to him. He's never had to play in like these little 6-minute bursts. And when he's playing on the court, especially against last night in Utah, it looks like he's literally trying to make the most of his 6-minute stretches. I mean, like he's trying to pack it in, Dave. Every single time he gets the ball, he is trying to sprint down court. If he sees 2 or 3 guys in front of him and no other Clippers, he's just going straight for the rim and attacking.
Yeah.
And I would say about like 75% of the time, he's either drawing the foul or he's actually getting to the rim and trying to score and create something. So, and then there's there's been some frustrating turnovers. I think even he would admit that. But like, I think John Wall's trying to make the most of the situation. And look, he goes back to Washington next week, which should be very interesting to see him. I know it'll be emotional for him. He's been back to DC since being traded, but that was, I think, in COVID when there were no fans. So this will be a chance for him to finally kind of get his due. I'm sure we'll talk more about that next week. But I think with John Wall, it'd be nice to see, eventually him get a little more minutes and maybe getting these back-to-back games. I know the Clippers can use him. I think they're just being smart about it, kind of keeping their eye forward for the playoffs and making sure that John Wall is going to be healthy because, he's only played like 40 games in like the last 3 years. So,
but you know what it sounds like to me? This is his first taste of being a role player, which,
yes,
whether that is the Clippers' intention or not, obviously it sounds like it's to protect his health, but this will be an adjustment that will probably be necessary for that team's ultimate success. Like John Wall has to recognize that he is a role player and the pecking order is Kawhi, Paul George, and he falls somewhere below that.
Yeah, I mean, as he told me, like I think early in the summer when I sat down with him, the one thing that he liked about coming to the Clippers is that he did not have to be Batman every night. But actually, I think they could have used him as Batman last night in Utah because of all the injuries. But he's just not getting those type of minutes yet. And I think he's trying to make the most out of it and learn his way with a new team.
They
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.
All right, so that concluded that 2-minute, 53-second video of the player who's frustrated with his minutes right now. This is John Wall. I played the video last week, but I think it's very, very prevalent that we play it again because I'm going to bring in another two players that are frustrated as well. And I just think the Clippers team in general is frustrated. They're just not voicing it as loud as certain players. You know what I'm saying? But as y'all heard, John Wall has been frustrated with his minutes. He feels like he should be getting – he's off these no back-to-backs. The realist just put it out there that Wall will be starting tonight, which I think he will ball out. D-Nice, I think he's back home with Washington. He's going to ball out. But I want to see this from here on out. I want to see John Wall playing actual games. I don't want to see this no minutes restriction. I don't want to see this, no back-to-backs no more. None of that stuff going on, right? They are right now 14 and 13. They're 10th in the Western Conference at this point. So that would mean they would be in the play-in situation. I don't want no more play-in situations from here on out. There's no reason for us to be in the play-in situation. What's going on? The games that we've been losing have been very, very pretty much games we put on ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? I think it's very prevalent John Wall should be starting this team. Yes, did Reggie Jackson have a few games where he balled out? Yes, he did. But again, we're talking about how they can fit and what makes their stars comfortable as far as John Wall and Paul George. I like Reggie Jackson, the position he's in, because with John Wall, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard dominating the ball more, Reggie's really just having to just stay in the corner and shoot threes. Right? So they lost to the Magic 111-116. John Wall did not play in that game. They played against the Miami Heat the night after on Thursday, where he played, 20 minutes. So they still have him under 25 minutes right now. He had 9 points, 8 assists, and 3 rebounds in those 20 minutes. So he's still giving you production with the minutes they're giving him, right? So hopefully this is the start of something tonight where John Wall can actually, get his feet wet and get situated. Now, I want to bring in something as well for the people who constantly make these scenarios up, man, about certain players. We're going to go ahead and knock this out right now. Again, we're focusing on load management. We're going to focus on load management right now. Now, this was just released a couple of days ago. Kawhi Leonard vents frustration over being benched for most of OT. So this was a game against the Orlando Magic on Wednesday he's talking about. When they went to OT against the Magic, I knew the Clippers were not going to win that game because Kawhi and Paul George reached their minutes max of playing. Right? Now, this is a very, very important thing for me to bring up because according to certain people, and I'm not gonna even pull no punches. Actually, I'm just gonna say it right now. Ticket TV, Too Raw, whoever else, Young Africa, people in here who constantly have these illusions and these narratives that Kawhi Leonard doesn't want to play. He's obviously keeps stating in articles and people in the Clipper organization saying he wants to play. But somehow he still gets the blame. Somehow he still gets the blame that he doesn't want to step on the court. They keep talking about this medical staff. If he wants to play, he can just go to medical staff and just say, oh, I'm going to play. Like this is rec ball. Like he's not getting paid $76 million for a 4-year deal and that he's a prize commodity for this Clipper organization they have to protect. Right? Or did we just forget about business? But let me just go ahead and read a little bit of this article. But y'all see the top right there. Kawhi Leonard vents frustration over bench for most of OT. Now, start from the top. Kawhi Leonard did not check into Wednesday's overtime period against the Orlando Magic until the 122 mark, a decision which understandably frustrated him. The Clippers has always been extremely cautious with Leonard as he works his way back to full fitness. Both he and Paul George are pushing up against the prescribed minutes. Here's the next page. They're just trying to protect, I guess, us as players. That's what Leonard said on the Via the Los Angeles Times. At times I feel like we should be in the close quarters out like the end of the third. But like I said, I guess the medical staff is just trying to protect us as players. Y'all stay with me. I mean, at least me, because it's my second game back. Hopefully we can get back beyond this and we can just play basketball. This is what Kawhi Leonard said. Hopefully we can just get back to beyond this and just play basketball again. Paul George, who was on the court for just one play, also spoke on the matter. You understand the medical side of it, where this is my second game back from a hamstring injury, and we got another one tomorrow night. So I get it. So he's talking about the game against the Miami Heat. It's just tough. It's tough, George said. The competitive side takes over, and I want to compete, and we got ourselves in a tough finish. As one of the leaders, I want to be out there and help those close the game out. Leonard is still not playing back-to-backs, and the Clippers are sitting him ninth in West at 14-13. So there you guys have it. Another article, another script that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are frustrated by not playing these back-to-back minutes, but that doesn't seem to matter to some people. People still make these crazy narratives that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George don't want to play, which is mind-boggling to me, because a guy being out for 15 months, you don't think he wants to actually be out there playing? I just want y'all to think about that logically. I'm away from my job that got me all this riches, fortune for years. I've been playing this game since I don't know how long. I get to a point. I'm on top of the mountain. I'm one of the top players in the league. I tear my ACL. I can't play basketball. I'm not able to help my team out. I get the opportunity to come back and play, and you're telling me that he's trying to sit out all these games on purpose. Just make that make sense. That makes absolutely no sense on Kawhi Leonard's tip. Paul George seems to be venting his frustration just as much, because he's saying he wants to be there and close out games. Now, this goes back to what I said about Ty Lue. Listen, I love Ty Lue as our coach. I don't want to switch it out. I don't want to remove him from our team. I think he has a lot of credit what he did for us the first year that he came to the Clippers, led them to the 2021 playoffs, the first time in their career history or their franchise history. The way he was able to handle situations without Kawhi and Paul George being out for an extended period of time, he was able to give them over 40 wins. There's no coach in the league who has done that without their two best players. To even get them those amount of wins, that was remarkable in itself last season, right? He's been very, very, how can I put it? He's been able to handle the load of answering questions every day about Kawhi and Paul George's injury status. So I give Ty Lue credit for holding it down for the team, but that doesn't mean he can't be criticized. If y'all realize what happened against the Charlotte Hornets, vice versa to Orlando Magic, you guys can see what the difference is when Kawhi Leonard was. When he hit the game winner against the Orlando Magic, down the stretch in the fourth quarter, there was a lot of flashes of Kawhi, what he was before the injury, hitting mid-range shots, hitting timely shots, and playing defense on the other end. His legs were fresh. His legs were in it. He was not sitting down for long periods of time, right? He closed that game out. He goes against the Orlando Magic a couple days later. Same situation, except Ty Lue chooses to sit him out for the entire fourth quarter until the 1 minute and 22-second mark. Now, you got to think, I ain't played the whole fourth quarter. I'm cold. My legs are not into it. That's how injuries can actually happen when your body is not warm. You just step out there. It's like warming a car up, trying to start a car without not even being warmed up. Right? And then you saw his shots being short. You saw his, timing off. He wasn't as comfortable. He was forcing things. He wasn't looking fluid out there in the fourth quarter. So that's a coaching error on Ty Lue. I saw Ty Lue take Terrence Mann out and leave Reggie Jackson in the game. I keep telling y'all, I don't know what it is with Reggie Jackson, but Ty Lue has an infatuation with Reggie Jackson. I don't know what it is. It's the same thing Doc Rivers had with Lou Williams. He refuses to take these certain players out, and this is messing up the chemistry of this team. Right? So, again, I'm just going to say this. These are minor issues that we got. They're not major issues. They're minor. Y'all hit that like button for your boy and comment. These are minor issues with the Clippers. These are not major. But it's just it's irritating when you watch it. And I almost had to hit up my guy with the Clippers, and I'm like, yo, what the hell is Ty Lue doing? Why is he continuously leaving Terrence Mann on the bench? He obviously was killing against the Orlando Magic. They couldn't stop him. The Clippers had like a comfortable lead, and he takes him out. You leave Kawhi on the bench for almost the entire fourth quarter. You can't play him in overtime because you overused their minutes during the regulation. just many things with his rotations, and it's just off, bro. I'm just gonna say it like that. But I want to actually go to this point too. It's like a little question I want to ask y'all before I let people in. I had a comment on one of my videos about these two right here, Paul George and Jimmy Butler, right? Now, down the stretch of the game against Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler made the winning plays more than Paul George. All right, I'm going to say that. Jimmy Butler made the winning plays. He made 6 straight buckets down the stretch, and including getting a big defensive rebound that Reggie Jackson missed the layup on. He got the rebound over Paul George. This is what I always say. Y'all know how I feel about Jimmy Butler. I don't understand why Bubba even came into my comment section talking this nonsense. Like, I don't know who Jimmy Butler is. I told him last year that he's better than Jason Tatum. So I know what Jimmy's built. I know how he's already built. He's a gamer. It's not a coincidence why Kawhi wanted Jimmy Butler to be his second man before Paul George, because he knows how Jimmy Butler's built. Now, the question again is, who would I take between Jimmy Butler and Paul George? Well, you got to look at the situation that we're talking about. If we're talking about just them, what they've accomplished and what they've done in their careers, we got to look at what their accomplishments are and what they've done, their accolades and stuff like that. So I went to Atlanta basketball. Y'all see what I'm talking about. Go and hit that like button before y'all come in here, man. Atlanta basketball. This is the comparisons between Jimmy Butler and Paul George, right? Jimmy Butler is 33, Paul George is 32. And if you look at Paul George, he's played actually an extra season over Jimmy Butler. Now, here's the thing. Paul George has been out for 2 complete seasons with that leg injury y'all remember back in 2013. And he's also been out for the entire year last year, except for 31, 32 games, something like that. Don't quote me on that. But he's been out for quite some period, for a couple of seasons. I don't remember Jimmy Butler being out for a whole year. So kind of the years kind of, can be a little bit inflated. But let me just go to the point. They both have the same amount of playoff appearances at 10. Paul George has an extra more All-Star game over Jimmy Butler. Paul George has had an All-NBA first team. Jimmy Butler has no All-NBA first teams. Paul George has 6 All-NBA teams combined. Jimmy Butler has 4. Paul George has 2 All-Defensive NBA teams. Jimmy Butler has 0. Jimmy Butler has more defensive All-NBA teams with 5, and Paul George has 4. They both have a steals leader award. And this is the stats they have averaged their entire career. PG beats them out in points, rebounds, steals, and then Jimmy Butler beats them out in rebounds or assists and blocks. So if you look at the categories of what Paul George has brought, he has brought more than Jimmy Butler as far as accolades and statistics. So I'll hit that like button. Right? Salute to my man Pagan 180, man. Salute everyone. BJ, you was cooking on Players Choice yesterday, by the way. Appreciate you, big dog. Appreciate y'all, man. Make sure y'all holler me out on Players Choice. I'm gonna start being on them more, man, for open course. Y'all make sure y'all, holler at your boy. You know what I'm saying? He said Peachy's had a better career than Jimmy Butler, and I do respect Jimmy. And that's my point, Pagan 180. The problem is that Jimmy Butler, first of all, Jimmy Butler, you can't say he's he kind of had to grow into his role as being that guy. You understand? Paul George has been that guy since he got into the league. Since the Indiana days, he was pretty much the guy taking them to the conference, Eastern Conference Finals, Eastern Conference semifinals, almost beat LeBron James in that super team, being the guy. He goes to Oklahoma City, takes Russell Westbrook's place as the best player on the team. I know people are going to say Russell Westbrook was the best player. No, Paul George was the MVP candidate his first season with the OKC Thunder. Now, I credit Westbrook for that because he does make his players better, co-stars better, but Paul George is the overall better player. He comes to the Clippers. He's not as good as Kawhi Leonard, but he's carried this team in Kawhi Leonard's absence. I think Jimmy Butler has been more of a guy who had to grow into being a better offensive player. He's been a great defensive player in his career, but he hasn't ever been on the level of Paul George offensively. And if you look at their awards right here, PG has more all-defensive NBA teams than, or he has more all-defensive first teams than Jimmy Butler. But Jimmy Butler has all-defensive teams combined. But we know who the better offensive player is, and it's not even really a discussion. Paul George has a better offensive polished game than Jimmy Butler. Right? So when people say, like, oh, Jimmy Butler over Paul George, I think what they're trying to say is they would take his mentality over Paul George. And I agree. There are certain times I say to myself, damn, if we had Jimmy Butler over Paul George, I think he would finish, some of these games out a little bit better because he's definitely a clutch player. Right? But Paul George has shown he can be a clutch player as well. We've seen what he did in the 2021 playoffs against the Utah Jazz in Game 5, where he closed that game with 37 points, 16 rebounds. We saw what he did against the Phoenix Suns the next series in Game 5. He had 42 points and I think 16 rebounds. We saw what he did against the Utah Jazz again last year, coming back from that UCL tear. He led that team back to beat the Utah Jazz, led by him. The Cleveland Cavaliers just a few weeks ago last month, he led a couple. So he's been closing games as well. It's just Jimmy Butler that's what he's pretty much known for. He doesn't really have control of the entire game. He's like, I'm going to come in towards the end. That's how he is. But if you ask me who I would take between Jimmy Butler and Paul George, I'm taking Paul George all day because of what he brings to my team. But I just wanted to pretty much put that there, man. Kawhi Swash, man, sorry. See, this is the stuff I'm talking about. And I know Melo Riley's just trying to say that, but I know Melo Riley's just saying it. But this is what I had to go at Ticket for a few days ago. I'm just like, bro, you don't get to be a top 5 player. You don't get to that level. I'm talking about from 2016 to 2021. You don't get to that level without having a love for the game. I'm just speaking to y'all real. You don't get to that level without loving the game. That right there just pretty much sums it up. And I ask people this question all the time. What weaknesses does Kawhi Leonard have in his game? Tell me something on the court Kawhi Leonard can't do. I'll wait. Matter of fact, I'll drop the link right now. I'm going to see what y'all say. Somebody give me something that he has that he does not do in his game. I'm going to go and drop this link. There it is. Somebody come in here and tell me what weaknesses Kawhi Leonard have in his game. All of you click on, yeah, come here. I need to hear this, man, because I didn't tell Ticket this, but I'm like, bro, you up here talking all this nonsense about him not loving the game, but he doesn't even have a weakness in his game. That shows you that he spends time working on his craft. All these people come up with these fake narratives, man, but they're not coming with no real facts. Right? Come here and tell me, Young Africa, how he clears PG. Where does he clear PG at? Ty Lue is infatuated with Reggie Jackson because Reggie has been a loyal soldier throughout his time and with the Clips improving. Yeah, and I definitely see that, man. And I don't have no problem with that, Pagan 180. But at the same time, John Wall has done the same thing in his whole career. He's been great his whole career, man. John Wall, people don't understand, he's one of the few who has averaged 20 points and 9 assists his entire career. You know how hard that is to average 20 points and 9 assists throughout your entire career, brother? You have to probably find like 5 guys in NBA history who've done that. Bruce, what's good, bro?
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm good, brother. How about yourself?
I'm good. I was watching football. I'm sorry, soccer for you guys. Football.
Football.
I was watching football. I know Young Africa doesn't watch football. He watched LeBron break last night. Anyway, Clippers, yes. What is the question? You said something about what's the weakness in Kawhi game?
I want somebody. Well, it's pretty much everything. So we're gonna talk about that. Paul George and Jimmy Butler, and what do you think about the Clippers? This low management. Do you think it's gonna backfire against us? And when are they gonna get off of this?
Everybody's doing load management now. I told you a couple of days ago. I said that now it's medical teams that control teams. Like the Nets are sitting most of their roster tonight against the Pacers. Every team is load managing now. And like you said, for people who said Kawhi doesn't want to play, I think that it's the organization that doesn't want Kawhi to play some games. I'm sure that there's some games that maybe he wants to load manage, but I think most of the time it's minutes restrictions from teams, because I see a lot of teams do that now. They do minutes restriction. And the Orlando game, they should have won that game. And I'm a Ty Lue fan, but yeah, I mean, I can see what you're saying about him making head-scratching coaching decisions. Like I didn't know why. Maybe sometimes he makes those decisions because management tell him to do it a certain way. Who would I take? Jimmy Butler and PG? Ooh, it depends on what my team need. Like on the Clippers, Jimmy Butler would not fit on the Clippers because his offense comes and goes. He has an offense, but it's spotty. And I like Jimmy Butler mentality. He's more. I think he's in the PG was more clutch than Jimmy Butler, but Miami Jimmy Butler is more clutch than Clippers. PG Clippers.
Yeah, so with the whole Jimmy Butler PG thing, I'm fine with PG. I'm fine what he's able to bring to our team. I think he's done enough to earn Clippers trust. I think because I don't know if it was Young Africa or somebody saying that they would take Jimmy over Paul George in the comments, but if you look at their career, like Paul George is the better overall player. Now Jimmy Butler has the more, I think, tougher mentality, but it's not enough to offset Paul George as an overall player. That's where I think that it goes. But do you think Kawhi Leonard has any weaknesses in his game?
I think we talked about this already. I don't think he has any weakness. Well, let me think about it again. Does he have any weakness in his game? I mean, you could. I don't think he shoot the threes. Like, I mean, he can make the threes, but I don't think that could be that's a little weakness, like his threes. So far since he came back this year, his threes have not been there yet. But I don't think there's like really a big weakness. I mean, if he gets to his spot, can shoot fadeaways, layups, dunks. You know, defense is there. Can shoot threes. Yeah, I mean, and he's a closer too. So his mentality is there. So.
Bro, Kawhi is shooting. You know how much? What's his percentage for 3-point line?
This year, what's his percentage this year?
No, I'm talking about his career. Not
okay.
Long enough. His career is 38%.
His career, but this year he has been struggling with the threes.
Yeah, he's been struggling, but I mean, such a small sample size that I gotta look at the entirety of his career, and I don't think 38% is above average. That's a good 3-point shooting percentage. So if that's his weakness, I think a weakness is more so like, okay, Shaq can't shoot free throws, or Giannis he struggles from his jump shot, or Kevin Durant's skinny, or that to me is something like, okay, I can exploit that. That's what a weakness I think I'm coming from. I can exploit it. What up, Kappa?
Pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up the truth. Straight out the motherland, no other land, young Africa. Salute to my guy, Pull Up Podcast, PJ, my brother Bruce. How y'all doing today, my brother? It's an early morning out here in the motherlands. You know, it's still nighttime, but you know, it's about to be morning soon. How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing?
I'm building a house with LeBron bricks.
Yeah, true, Bruce. Dang, you can build a nice big house with all them bricks, right, Bruce? It's all good.
I mean, I still have the note. What did you say here? Lakers going further than the Clippers, but okay, it's too early.
I did say that. Yeah, I'm standing on that. We gonna see. You know, it's a long season. There's still a lot left, but you know, you talk about what weaknesses does Kawhi have? And Bruce up in here, you know, softening your wounds. BJ talking about no weaknesses. He's not a great playmaker. That's one of his weaknesses. He hasn't got the best ball handling abilities. That's another weakness. Well, what we talking about? He got weaknesses. Don't act like he a perfect player. Huh? What?
Bro, you just say he doesn't have a handle?
It's not great. It's not great. No. It's a simple handle. It's very
good. It's very good.
Very good. Nice average.
Good. No, that's not a weakness he has. He handles the ball very well, and he can shoot the three. And a playmaking, I think he averages 4.5 assists per game.
No, so the numbers don't tell you the story. Would you call him a great playmaker, BJ?
Well, I mean, he can play. He can pass. Okay, playmaker is what? Setting up your teammates.
Yeah, running an offense, being able to play exactly, find your teammates, get them easy shots, stuff like that. You don't
think? Okay, so we can do all that by watching film. So watching film out the post, Kawhi Leonard makes good passes. He makes good passes on the pick and roll. First of all, he's a high IQ player. How many turnovers does Kawhi Leonard average, young Africa?
How many turnovers in his career? I'm about to look that up.
How many turnovers does he average?
He's a very low turnover. He averages 1.6 turnovers per game. He only averages like 2 assists, 2.9 assists. So he ain't gonna have many turnovers, right? With your ISO scorer, you ain't looking to pass, bro.
No. Actually, he would because he has the ball in his hands. So if you have the ball in your hands, you're in danger of turning the ball over. So it's not about passing. So if he's dribbling, if he's trying to score the ball, he has an opportunity to turn the ball over. So he only averages 1.6 turnovers a game. That speaks to how high his IQ is not to make a lot of mistakes. You can just watch the games and you can see he doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't really make that many mistakes on offense and the defensive end, right or wrong in Africa.
He doesn't make a lot of turnovers. I would say it's not hard to be a low turnover guy when you get the ball, you predominantly just score and shoot, bro. Like, what's so hard about that, bro? I don't get it.
He's putting the ball on the floor. He's having to deal with double teams. He's having to put the ball in the post. There's a lot of opportunities for him to turn the ball over. He's not just coming off screens like a Luke Kennard or JJ Redick or Mike Miller or somebody catching threes. Now that would be somebody you could say doesn't have to turn the ball over. But when you're putting the ball on the floor, going through traffic, looking to score, going through contact, those are a lot of opportunities for you to turn the ball over. And you tell me he only averages 1.6 turnovers per game? Come on, man.
I would say it's a weakness of his game. You say what's one of his flaws? I would say playmaking. You know what I would do if I was playing a defense against Kawhi? I'm saying we loading up on Kawhi. And you gotta make your teammates beat us. If you're gonna put the ball in Kawhi's hands, then I'm gonna let everybody else get off, and the whole defense is keyed on stopping Kawhi, stopping his dribble penetration, stopping his pull-up mid-range, stopping his catch and shoot opportunities. And I'm gonna make you PG, you Marcus Morris, and Reggie Floater Brick Jackson beat me, bro. That's what's gonna happen. And I don't think Kawhi can make the right reads and carry an offense to do that.
But you ain't seen it though.
Well, yeah. Well, we will see it. I hope this playoff series coming up, but that's all good. Now, and we can disagree. And I respect the knowledge of the game, and I understand that he's a very efficient player on offense. He's a low turnover guy. Yep, I was just saying his ball handle is not elite, and his playmaking is not elite, which is what I would say. But maybe it's a stress to say it's a flaw, but it ain't a strength. So if it ain't a strength, I'm guessing that's a flaw.
So
that's how I'm gonna think.
You think, Bruce? You got something to say?
I wanted to ask. Young Africa, you're a Kobe fan, right?
I am, yes.
Is Kobe a playmaker? Is Kobe a playmaker?
When it comes to passing, see, playmaking, a lot of people have different playmaking definitions of playmaking. You know, if you make a play for yourself, is that a making plays for your team? If you're talking about passing, and is he a great assist guy? He was a good passer, even a great passer, but that wasn't his game. So, but I would say if let's measure Kobe and Kawhi, right? Kobe is a much better playmaker and passer than Kawhi. Way better. Really? And he actually showed you as a second guy on the team, being with Shaq, that he could actually play make and be that guy next to an all-time great player.
So when he was in San Antonio with Tony Parker, when did he have a chance to play make? When he was in Toronto.
Yeah, you're right.
When he was in Toronto with Kyle Lowry, when did he have a chance to play make? You want him to play make like LeBron. That's not his role in the offense.
I would agree.
LeBron needs to have the ball to be efficient. Kawhi doesn't need to do that. That's why he doesn't need. Bingo. That's why he doesn't need to be playmaking.
This illusion. That's an illusion. The illusion, right, that Kawhi is a low usage guy is a joke. Okay, he's not dribble heavy, but he is a high usage player in the league, just like all the all-time the best players in the league. He's a high since 2016. Since BJ been talking about he's a top 5 player. He's been in the top 5 in usage. In 2016, he was 31%. That's high. 30%, 30%, 33%. Right. So he was, even in San Antonio Spurs at the age of 25, was a high usage guy, and that came down a little in his and then in his first season at the Clippers, he had his highest usage in his career, 33%, which is high, bro. Let me give you context. In those seasons, LeBron James didn't even have that high of a usage, my brother. When you talk about LeBron James, this and that, it's an illusion. You look at the game and you feel like it's a certain way. Usage represents how many times you end a possession with either shooting or passing and making a playmaking move, right? And at that point in time, Kawhi's a high usage guy, bro. So let's not come up with the illusions, bro. It's true.
So good points what you just made. So here's the thing. Yes, he does. He's a superstar, so he's going to have the ball more than everybody, about 95% of the league. That's a fact. That's not my issue. I have no problem with that. I want the ball in his hands. The problem becomes when you actually turn the ball over, make bad reads and bad decisions, take bad shots, which that's not who Kawhi is. He takes very efficient shots. He takes high volume shots. Now he doesn't take a lot of high volume shots. LeBron, on the other hand, the reason why the high usage goes against him is because he will turn the ball over. He will take a lot of outside threes. He doesn't take side step threes, long distance logo threes. Kawhi ain't doing all that. He's taking high efficiency shots, mid-range shots, looking for the right play. He played for the San Antonio Spurs. He plays winning basketball. That's how he's built. That's how he is. That's what he does. That's why I don't mind the ball in his hands more, because he's going to make the right play. So I'm cool with him having high usage rate, but it's just not, compared to other stars, it's not that high. Luka Doncic has the ball in his hands more than Kawhi Leonard. But Luka Doncic, I can't really want the ball as much as Kawhi Leonard, because he'll take a lot of dumb threes. He'll stagnate the offense. So, cool. Kawhi Leonard, what was his usage rate, Young Africa?
It's been in the 30s since 2016. It's been above 30 outside of this season.
Right. So in the 30s, which is pretty reasonable for a superstar at his level. And like low 30s. 33 was his career high. Just for context, right? When we put context for the people, high usage is always going to be above 30. A guy like Luka Doncic, which is often critiqued for his high usage, he is in the mid 30s, right? So this season it's at 37, but his career has been a 35% usage guy, right? So it's just for context. Right, and you also got to remember this: one guy will give it to you on the other end. The other guy is only going to give you on the offensive end. Kawhi will give it to you on the defensive end and the offensive end. Kevin Durant, Luka Doncic, LeBron James can only give it to you on one side of the ball, and that makes a huge difference. I can tell Kawhi, hey Kawhi, give me 30 points tonight, but I want you to go ahead there and guard Luka Doncic. I want you to guard Giannis Antetokounmpo. I want you to guard Kevin Durant. I want you to guard Steph. I can tell Kawhi to do that. I can't tell Kevin Durant to go out there and give me 50 or give me 40 and go out there and guard Kawhi, guard Luka. Notice, every time he plays those type of players, he got somebody else guarding him. Right? But Kawhi, I don't think people understand his impact is that it's tough being somebody who can score 30 points per game while locking, or not locking, because you can't lock a superstar, but making it hard for a star player to score. The objective of having a star player, to guard a star player, is not to stop them from scoring. You want them to take more volume shots. That's what the whole goal is from trying to guard an elite player, right? So when I see Luka Doncic shoot 49% against the Clippers in 2021 playoffs, and I see Kawhi Leonard shoot 62%, Kawhi took 19 shots per game, Luka Doncic took 30 shots per game, and guarded Luka Doncic. I'm like, that's the difference between him and Luka. That's why Kawhi is a better overall player, because what he's able to do in a more efficient way. So it's a difference.
Okay, no doubt. I agree with that. And so, yeah, he's very efficient, and so we can. I understand what you just said, and the flaws are subtle. He hasn't got many flaws, right? And the flaws are subtle, and it's more of the other parts of his game are so strong. And just like Bruce said, I can understand that playing with guys like Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Kyle Lowry throughout your career, playmaking hasn't been a huge responsibility that you've been given. So it's going to be interesting to see this season for the Clippers when he does start playing more regularly, and in the playoffs, if he can carry that offensive load, or if you're going to put the playmaking duties in Paul George's hands. What you think, BJ? Or John Wall's hands. And if it's in John Wall's hands, I don't know how it's going to work out, man, because you're taking away a ball from guys that really do maximize their talents with the ball in their hands, creating their own shots and hitting the open shooters, you know?
Bruce, you got something to say?
Let's talk about Kawhi's shot selection. Man, the last time I saw a superstar with better shot selection was Michael Jordan. This guy, when Kawhi shoot, he just miss. Sometimes I'm like, because other superstars, I'm like, why you take that shot? I don't say that for Kawhi a lot. Right? Can you say that? Young Africa.
I would agree. Since Michael Jordan, I don't know, but I'm agree he takes very good shots, Bruce. Very good shots. High percentage shots.
I was watching last night. I'm like, what the heck is this dude doing? He's shooting 9 for 20, and the guy they said is the MVP 9 for 12. Guess who?
Yeah.
Kawhi taking high quality shots this season, Bruce, shooting 40% from the field. 15% from three.
Yes.
Yes, he's
okay. He's just missing, right? Okay.
Yeah, he look at this comment. He said, "I'm a Kawhi fan, not looking the same." See, the reason I'm not worried about it, Young Africa, I know you're trying to make me worried, but I'm not, because he's still getting to the spots. It's not like he's struggling to get to the mid range or get to the he's just missing. He's just missing his shots that he would normally make. Now, if Kawhi wasn't look like he'd get to his spots, he was missing, or he was not getting able to post up, he was getting pushed around, then I'd be like, okay, I'm a little concerned. But I'm watching his body movement. I'm not watching the ball just going to the basket. I'm watching how they're gradually increasing his minutes. I'm watching how Ty Lue manages his minutes. That's why I'm watching more, because I know by the time close to the playoffs, he's going to work all those kinks out where those shots are going to start falling, when those shots are going to start going in. I'm not concerned about Kawhi at this point, because I know what he's going to get to, what he needs to do to get back to where he was. That's why I'm not concerned. I'm more concerned about us as a team with this low management stuff, which I want to go to this argument about Paul George and Jimmy Butler. So you're saying Jimmy Butler's a better player than Paul George?
Most definitely am. Now, when you talk about legacies and career, let's let them finish, right? In terms of a whole body of work in career, it's hard to say as they're going. But right now, and not just right now, even for greater context, I would say for the last 3 seasons, let's say since 2020, Jimmy Butler, clear cut being a better player, is a better player right now. The numbers that you put up are biased towards a more skilled player in Paul George. More skilled, yes. Better offensive package, I agree, BJ. Better offensive package. But as you know, numbers and skill don't translate to winning. You should go ask Tracy McGrady about that, BJ. And so when we come down to it, and it comes down to what you can do on the court to win games, if you look at the numbers, right, in the playoffs, their playoff careers, Paul George has averaged 21 points a game on 42% shooting for his career. 42% shooting, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, right? Let's look at Jimmy Butler, who, as you said, had to grow into that role, wasn't given the team early in his career, like Paul George. You took it off Danny Granger, right? And so when you look at Jimmy Butler, he averages what 20 points a game in the playoffs for his career. 20 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists on 45% shooting, almost 46% shooting. Right? He only averages 1 less percent, 34% from 3, and is a better at the free throw line. Now, when we talk about impact and game, right? On top of that, defense, I would say personally, I like Jimmy Butler's defensive game today. Prime Paul George, different conversation. He was doing amazing jobs on Dwayne Wade and LeBron James. But right now, Jimmy Butler's a better defender. He's a better all-around player. He has more intangibles to winning, which is way more important than skill when it comes to how that translates on the court, BJ, which is why I say he's been better for the last 3 seasons, and their playoff scoring ain't the same. Jimmy Butler took a team to the finals with no Tyler Hero injured. Bam Adebayo and a bunch of G League dudes took him to the finals, something that Paul George ain't even come close to on that level. So I got to give it to Jimmy, and it's clear cut to me, man. I don't even know how we can break it down any other way.
You got something? What's up, Just Blaze? What's good, man? Y'all hit that like button, comment section. Anybody want to come in? My man Bruce, what you got to say about that?
I think right now Jimmy Butler is a better player, but Paul George could have made that shot against the Celtics better than Jimmy Butler. Wait, I'm not. I'm agreeing with you in Africa.
I'm
with
surprised,
what you said.
No, but you said Paul George is more clutch than Jimmy Butler, right, Bruce? How? What? More clutch?
No, I'm saying he would have made that shot because he's a better shooter. He's a better shooter.
Hey, would he have got his team in position to even make that shot, Bruce? That's the question. Because at that point in time, Jimmy Butler played all the minutes in the game. Let's put context to the top. He played every single minute up to that point in the game, right? He was holding Jason Tatum to a very average, below average game, and he had 30 points, like 30-something points. Like, come on, bro. Like,
okay,
wow.
You just go online and look at stats. You're not even listening to what I'm talking about.
I told you the context. He played every minute of the game. I remember that game, bro.
What did I say that was wrong? I said that Paul George is a better shooter. How is that a bad thing?
Okay. No, it just doesn't.
I've been saying that Jimmy Butler is a top 5 player in the NBA since the summer. What? You were not listening when I was there? Yeah. I said Jimmy Butler was top 5.
Okay.
Yeah, he did. He said it. Look, if you
Bruce, my question to you would have just been: Does Paul George even get him to that stage? But my bad.
It's a reason you said the last 3 seasons, because that's all you can say that Jimmy Butler has been even on the level as Paul George. That's all you can say the last 3 seasons. They played. Essentially, both played over 10 years, right? So you want to negate all that because it's clear who's the better player up until the last 3 seasons, right? So we gotta kick that into. That's why I posted career numbers and career accomplishments. That's what goes to show Paul George. Even with the last 3 seasons of Jimmy Butler being great, he still ain't caught up to Paul George yet. He still ain't as good as Paul George as an overall basketball player, offensively and defensively. Jimmy Butler may be a better, I guess you could say,
defensively. Wow.
Did you not see how many all-defense team Paul George made?
No. Hey, Jimmy Butler has more. Hey, first off, accolades and people voting.
Teams, period, but all defensive.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler has more defensive teams. Exactly. Yeah, he does.
But he has all defensive first team. That's a different story. You have more all defensive first team. That's Paul George. So you can't just say Jimmy Butler clears.
He's got Paul one. George. Come on, BJ. He just got one, BJ. Don't act like he be making it every season and shit. Like
you said it. Okay. You said he's a better clear-cut defender than Paul George. Okay. Now I can prove that Paul George is a better offensive player than Jimmy Butler. It's not even a discussion. But you said that it was a discussion. It wasn't a discussion. Jimmy Butler is a better defender than Paul George, and that's capped according to the accomplishments that Paul George has accomplished, and just watching by the eye test. Him being a more athletic player, being able to do more side-to-side movements with the injury to his leg. He's still able to cover more ground than Jimmy Butler because he has more length. Jimmy Butler is a more intense defender, yes, right? And he's pretty athletic in his own right, but he ain't as athletic as Paul George is. He ain't as tall as Paul George is. So you can say Jimmy Butler if you want. I'm gonna pick Paul George. Now, here's the key. in the last 3 seasons, what has happened to Paul George the last 3 seasons in Africa?
He lost.
No. Put context
Lost.
on it. Put context on it. Tell me what has happened to Paul George the last 3 seasons.
There being excuses like injuries and certain things that have prevented him from going far.
Okay, you said injury, so that's you don't want to admit that he's been injured, but you want to give Jimmy Butler all this praise, but you don't want to talk about he's been hurt. So how can I have production by not playing?
He been hurt. He been hurt a lot of his career, bro. Hey, this man been playing for over 10 seasons, right? How we gonna use hurt after the man played 10 seasons, never been to the finals, BJ? Come on, bro. Come on, man.
Jimmy Butler's been hurt, bro.
You
know how many times Jimmy Butler's been hurt? You know how many times?
And he's still more accomplished in terms of winning than Paul George, bro. He got to the conference finals last season, been to the finals. Like, what?
No, yes, he's not more. Again, you
when it comes to winning.
We're talking about 3 seasons. You can't shape your argument the way you want to shape it. You can't say the last 3 seasons as if they only played the last 3 years. That's where I have to go all through the entire career. And if you look at the entire career, according to the accomplishments that Paul George has accomplished, team and individual, consistent. And there's another thing. He's never missed the playoffs in his whole career. That's an accomplishment right there in itself. LeBron James has missed playoffs. Steph
Never
Curry
missed the playoffs. You sure about that?
Yeah, LeBron James has missed the playoffs, 4 times in his career? Steph Curry missed the playoffs. Who else missed the playoffs? I'm thinking of Dame Lillard. No, he hasn't missed the playoffs. But Luka Doncic didn't miss the playoffs.
Last year, didn't miss it.
Yeah, he didn't miss it. But I'm saying career-wise.
Paul George missed the playoffs when he was at the Pacers. He missed the playoffs. He missed the playoffs when he was at the Pacers. He definitely did.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. Come on,
No,
bro.
he did not. He never missed the playoffs. Paul George never missed the playoffs in his career.
Come on, bro.
Look it up. He's
Are
never
you sure
missed
about
the
that?
playoffs.
I'm about to look, man. Don't make me look. I don't want to have to look, BJ.
Go ahead, look it up.
Oh, man. I don't want to do this, man. I know he accomplished, man, but I don't think he made the playoffs, bro, every season. I don't think so. That's quite an accomplishment. You're right. That's quite an accomplishment. I don't think he did, BJ. I don't think he did. Look, so in his rookie season, and you're talking about Paul George when he winning, right? So he comes in, and in his rookie season, right? He playing 20 minutes a game, so it ain't even his team. But they win 37 games. They do make the playoffs, right? 37 games. Okay, that ain't really on him. That's Danny Granger's team, right? Next season, they win 42 games. They make the playoffs, right? The East is real soft out here. You're making the playoffs, 37 wins. Okay. Third season. No. Hey, you're right. Third season.
That's not the question. The question was, did he make the playoffs every year?
No. 2014, 2015, 38 wins. 38 wins. He doesn't make the playoffs, bro.
He got hurt. That's the year he
What?
He got hurt. That was the year he got hurt that year.
2014, 2015. Okay, he got hurt. So that ain't on him, right? Fair enough. Okay, he got hurt. Okay.
And he never missed the play. Only last season when he didn't play.
Okay.
But when he plays a complete season, he has not missed the playoffs, bro.
Okay. See?
So
Wait. When he got hurt, did he start the season?
Yeah, no. He played in the beginning. What do you mean? Did he start the season? Like he played games.
He played games, but he didn't play the duration of the year to give the Pacers a chance to make the playoffs.
Fair enough.
Technically, he was on the team. So
yeah. He played games, but not a lot. So I'm not gonna hold that against him. Okay, so outside of that season, he has made the playoffs. But technically, I could play semantics game with you. But I hear what you're saying, BJ. So he's made the playoffs. And what's the essence of your point that he's succeeded in his career and he has won on?
Okay, I want people in the chat to give their answer. Who are you taking between Jimmy Butler and Paul George as a player, accomplishments, accolades, game? Who are you taking, Jimmy or Paul George? Now, what I'm saying is this: that PG has been a more accomplished, overall better player than Jimmy Butler. To this day, we have to grade Paul George. You gotta let him. You got to play this whole season out before you start saying that Jimmy Butler is better than him because he missed most of last season.
Because
the whole series, the season now. Go ahead, Bruce.
Because of what happened the last couple of seasons, a lot of people are gonna take Jimmy Butler now. Jimmy Butler carried a team who had no business in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And
he had 40-point triple doubles. He was dropping 40-point triple doubles on the Lakers, giving him a chance. Took him to 6 games. Last season, he went life and death. Game 7 with Boston Celtics with a hurt Tyler Hero, hurt Bam Adebayo. Took him 7 games. He was 1 3-point pull-up shot away from being an all-time great Miami Heat player and a legendary player for that franchise, taking him to the finals with one of the most clutchest shots in NBA history. He missed, right? But it was in his hand. He played every minute, something that just so when and I'm not going to disagree with you. When you talk about longevity of the game, it's hard to measure a guy who came into the league as a role player, right? Jimmy Butler, to put it in context, was a 2nd-round pick in the NBA, right? He wasn't no franchise guy or at the end of the first round, late first-round pick, right? And so we're not talking about Paul George, who was a lottery pick, top 10 pick in the draft and was projected to be a great player, right? And so he had to work his way into the league doing that. He was a role player consistently throughout his career. You know, he came in Chicago as a role player. They gave him the team for a season. He went to Minnesota, role player with Karl Anthony Towns. They didn't give him the team. He goes to Philly, role player next to Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. And then this is a team in Miami, the first time in his career.
Look how long it took for him to actually have it. That's not my point.
That's true.
That's my point. Why PG's a better basketball player. He came in the league as a top 10 pick. Jimmy Butler was on the rise, underground. I respect him for that. He goes to the first teams with the Chicago Bulls under Derrick Rose. Yep. He was a backup player. I don't think he even started. So he was just like coming off the bench. He was a strictly defensive player. He goes to the Chicago Bulls to the I think the Minnesota Timberwolves.
But to be honest, he was the best player on those like last couple of years in the Chicago Bulls with like Derrick Rose, who was injured. That he had like Dwayne Wade, Pau Gasol at certain points. He was the best player though at that time.
He was the best player after Derrick Rose's knees were shot. I get that. But again, look at all that he had to do. He went to Minnesota, was not giving the team over Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. Do you think they would give the team to Paul George if that was him?
He has more acclaim, so most like I don't know over Cat, but yeah, he the clear cut second best guy. I don't know about that.
Yes. So my thing is the reason why I say they would give the team over to Paul George because he went to OKC, and he was the best player on the team. And as you're talking about a Russell Westbrook who was better than Karl Anthony Towns, who was better than Andrew Wiggins, was better than anybody on that team.
Okay, that's fair. Okay,
Paul George can go to any team and automatically put your first, second guy at least. That's Philadelphia, he's the third option.
I'm sorry, but I think Jimmy Butler was the best player in the Bulls. Go ahead.
Yeah, but he wasn't given the franchise though. I see what you're saying. He wasn't given the franchise, but he was the most productive and play when it comes to winning on that team. Definitely was.
Right. So again,
he led the team in points. But he still didn't have the most shots. Wiggins was that guy. And he wasn't given the franchise, but that's how he plays, right? Even in Miami. So keep going, BJ. But we can keep going. So Minnesota, you're saying Philly, third option. Go ahead.
He goes to Philly. He's the third option. PG's never been a third option on any team. He goes to Miami, a team that I give him nothing but love and credit. But that's why I said the last 3 seasons is when Jimmy Butler actually came among his own. I don't think before that he wasn't even considered a top 15 player. So how could you put him over Paul George, who's been consistently carrying his team as the first option, or now he's with the Clippers as the second option? But that is by default by you're behind one of the top 5 best players in the league when healthy in Kawhi Leonard.
I'm conflicted about Paul George. If Paul George had Jimmy Butler mentality, could be the best player in the NBA.
And that's the thing. It's kind of weird. If I take Jimmy Butler, it's the same thing about Jimmy Butler. If I take Jimmy Butler and put him in Paul George's head, then he'll have his mental. If I put Paul George and Jimmy Butler, his skill game would be more polished. So you can take either or. They're like reverse. So when people say that, you can do it either way.
Paul George has everything.
Exactly. What you just showed, right, is why I say Jimmy Butler is a better player, right? If you give Jimmy Butler I mean, if you give Paul George Jimmy Butler's mentality and how he plays the game, right? He doesn't need to be that number one guy, even when he is in Miami, right? And my point was his whole career has shown that he's a team player, right? This guy puts team over individual. He doesn't look gun for his stats. If you just watch the game against the Clippers, he took 12 shots, hit 10 of them, was very effective, and the closing time is when he takes over as a team leader should, right? And so that's why. So when you give him Paul George, Jimmy Butler's mentality, you just said the best player in the game potentially, right? But which shows the greatness of what you're talking about. When you give Jimmy Butler Paul George's skill, right? When you give him his skill, right, he becomes who? He becomes what? Not the best player in the game still. He becomes a top 10 player. He becomes a player like who? You could call him a Kawhi Leonard type of player. A Kawhi Leonard type of player. Huh?
He's already a top 10 player. Jimmy Butler's already a top 10 player.
And with Paul George's skill, what does that make him? What kind of player is he?
Okay, Paul George has arguably the best skills in the game behind Kyrie Irving. So if you put a Paul George and a Jimmy Butler, you're talking about the top 5 player. If you're talking about Jimmy Butler and support, the reason why Paul George will be better because it doesn't take that much. He doesn't need that much more to get where he needs. You just said it. Paul George has everything. He has everything already. Jimmy Butler, there's more that you have to put in him to become better. That we've seen it throughout his entire career. He's had to go through actual phases to actually be even on the same breath as Paul George. That's
same breath.
That's the difference.
Hey, why are you making it sound like it ain't close, BJ? Is it close, BJ, for you? Is it close?
It was just close 3 seasons ago. It was just close. What those 10 seasons before that, where was he at? And again, Bruce was here. I said Jimmy Butler's better than Jason Tatum last year. So you're not talking to somebody who doesn't like Jimmy. I love Jimmy Butler. But the disrespect to Paul, like this dude, Dejan, he's a casual. Because you can't say that he can be that top 10 player.
Hey, he's right, bro. He's right. He's not, bro. Be honest, BJ. He's not.
Are you asking, is Paul George a top 10 player this year?
Huh? Yeah, this year he's not. Yeah. This year
it's not fair to put Paul George. Is he a top 10 player this year? Because he was out last year. You have to give him time to get back and give him a full season. Because after the 2021 playoffs, would you say Paul George was a top 10 player?
Top 21 playoff like last year.
Arguable still, bro. It's still arguable.
You couldn't name 10 players. You could not name 10 players better than Paul George after the 2021 playoffs when he led the Clippers. You could not name 10.
But Paul George was.
I definitely could, bro.
Paul George was shooting a lot in that playoff when the Clippers were
exactly.
You can't name 10 players better than Paul George.
Look, Giannis, Jokic, Luka, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, LeBron James. In that same season, guys like Chris Paul, Damian Lillard.
No, he was not.
Damian Lillard, Chris Paul. Don't do that, BJ.
He was not better than Paul George.
Paul
George was the best player in that series.
In my opinion, Paul George can be better than Luka, but because Paul George is not flashy like Luka, it's because he doesn't. Luka is flashy. That's why people like flash. So they say, Luka is whatever.
Paul George is very flashy. I would say that's one of the biggest things in his game is flashiness. Like he handles like.
Bruce, say that. Bruce, say that again. Say what you just said. Who could Paul George be better than if he actually had the mentality?
I think Paul George is more humble than people think. He's not trying to get publicity. And you said Jimmy Butler is a team player. Paul George is a team player too. I don't think he's hunting shots. And sometimes we have to beg him to shoot. No, I don't think. Sometimes he defers too much. He has to take over the game and people have to force him. That's my issue with him. And Paul George is more talented than you think, young Africa. And I think he has more talent than Luka. It's because he's not flashy and people have a vendetta against Paul George. That's bad publicity. And like people are coming. Right, people are coming to watch Paul George with already. He's not good. So they already have in their mind, okay, he's not good, and they're not seeing his talent. And it's because of Paul George. You know, he didn't have to say, I was dealing with this in a bubble. Like people, okay, oh, he's weak, right? Just keep it to yourself, right?
Bro,
And
people forget. I don't mean to interrupt you, Bruce, but I gotta address this real quick. I don't know who this Dejan dude is, but he obviously don't know Paul George. Just the fact that he's even playing after that horrific injury is amazing in itself. You're talking about a dude who took a prime Miami Heat team with LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh to 7 games. You can't tell me, as great as Luka is, this is what I said. I said Paul George, I can make a case that he can be better than Luka because what he's accomplished. As Luka, yes, Luka Doncic did what he did against the Suns last year, right? But he ain't did no shit like that where he took a prime Miami Heat team against being the sole player on that team.
It's amazing that we still talk about that series, bro. It's amazing.
That was one of the greatest series that you can say of this decade.
Wow, man.
You got to admit your Africa. What did you think when you saw Paul George do that?
Oh, I said his trajectory is an all-time great play if he keeps this up. That's what I said.
So what happened was after that bubble happened, that's where his stock went down. Like I really just said, Paul just put his foot down after Dame Ice game, and he said that was the start of the anti Paul George after that whole shot with Dame. That's when the anti was against Paul George. But before that, this dude was top 5 player. He's an MVP candidate, all this stuff. But all of a sudden, he ain't never. So, but let's go to the next subject. Y'all keep hitting that like button, man. What do y'all feel the Clippers are headed right now after this week, bro? Africa, if you're gonna actually answer logically after what you've been seeing this week.
Hey, man, for the rest of the season, the projections for the Clippers, man, is y'all gonna be a playing team, and y'all gonna struggle throughout the regular season. The inconsistency of your lineups, the inconsistency of players' roles. Some days Reggie Jackson is the primary ball handler, primary playmaker. The next day he got to sit off ball, sit in the corner and wait for his catch and shoot opportunities. Your offense is average in terms of bottom 5 offense in the league. You're a very slow-paced team. You don't get easy shots in transition. You don't get easy buckets at all. I don't know what your offensive system is outside of Paul George, dribble, break your defender down. If the defense collapses, hit the open man, move the ball, 3-point shots, right? You got a lot of shot makers. You got a lot of shot creators, but you don't have a lot of playmakers, which will be the downfall of y'all team, right? Kawhi Leonard is a shot creator, shot making himself. Paul George is he could be the playmaker that y'all need, but he doesn't do that. He doesn't make good decisions out of double teams. He doesn't make good decisions in late in games. The pull-up threes that he was taking, that Bruce is out here saying the Jimmy Butler brick that he bricked in against the Boston Celtics in last year's playoffs. Paul George makes that. Well, the game that I just watched, Jimmy Butler was hitting fadeaways in Reggie Jackson's face, and Paul George was taking bad shots on the other end, pull-up threes, and not understanding time and score, and had to slow the tempo down and actually play the right possessions and actually make the right plays. And so at the end of the day, if Kawhi Leonard is not the top 5 player that you say he is, BJ, and he doesn't come back and have a strong second half of the season where he shows that, ain't no turning up in the playoffs, ain't no doing nothing in the playoffs. Y'all gonna be a first round exit.
What do the Clippers do well, Young Africa, besides all the bad things?
They play defense. Team defense. They're a solid team defense. So that's a little souped up because of Zubac, and I don't. And as you've seen, BJ, recently Zubac on the way down, coming back to earth. BJ, coming back to earth now.
Bruce, go ahead.
Team defense, Bruce, to answer your question. They're solid team defense.
Right now, I cannot tell. I have to see everybody comes back. Everybody's injured.
Waiting for years, man.
Terrence man has a concussion. But I heard that John Wall might start against the Wizards. So I hope he keeps starting. And Kawhi play and PG, they play together. And I don't know when minutes restriction is going to end for Kawhi. So I don't know. So it's all about so Clippers to keep being healthy and try to be close to the first seed. If I don't think anybody is running away in the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference. That's why you see a lot of teams resting their players because nobody's running away. Maybe Celtics, whatever. So I think the Clippers' strategy right now is to be healthy at the end. So let's see after All-Star break what happens. They have to play more together and final rotation and give people that deserve minutes. That guy, whatever his name is, I forgot his name. You guys said he doesn't play enough. I think he was in Portland last year and he got traded to Clippers. I forgot his name.
Robert Covington.
Yeah. I don't think Ty Lue likes him. I think he might be traded. So
yeah, I don't know, and that's my problem, bro. Like, and shout out to Robbie Bean. He said Jimmy Butler's a better leader than PG, in my opinion. PG plays too casual. John Wall's the best leader in point guard on the Clips. I agree. I agree with that. Salute, little bro. This is my thing. We can't judge this team until everybody's together playing significant minutes. So I need to see them play 10 games with no back-to-back restrictions, with players playing their action. I need to see them play 10 games together. I need to see them play 10 games.
Hey, how soon do you think that can happen, BJ?
That can happen right now.
I don't know about that, BJ. I don't know about that.
Yes, you do.
Hey, is Kawhi playing the next game? Is he playing today, bro? Is he playing today?
Young Africa.
He is playing today? Okay.
Young Africa. It's the race to who's the most healthy team. If you look at all the season, all the recent champions, it always has been the most healthy team.
No doubt.
Okay.
I agree, Bruce.
So that I think that's I think people are trying to be like do like the Warriors, resting, load managing, minutes restrictions. I think that's what you see the Nets doing the same thing. That's why KD, Kyrie, Ben Simmons, a lot of Seth Curry, they're not playing tonight against the Pacers. I think
they've been playing good. Yeah.
I think there are scheduled losses now for teams. Like, okay, we can give this win away. I think that's what's going on right now in the NBA.
The Brooklyn Nets are 15-12 right now. So they're fourth in the Eastern Conference. I don't think the load management to me is good enough to say, okay, well, for certain times of the season. I feel like towards the end of the year, if you lock up a playoff spot, okay, cool. Load management works. I feel like if you want to give your guys an extra little rest, like I don't think Reggie Jackson's playing tonight because all the minutes he's been back on. Okay, cool, you need a rest. But all this, you sit him out when he's actually nothing wrong with him or he hasn't been getting consistent. It's throwing his timing up. That can backfire. It can backfire on you because you're throwing your timing off. You're on the court 1 minute, and then you're off the court the next. Your injuries are more prone to be built. I said this before. Injury-prone people get injured because they don't play enough. They don't move around enough. You don't get injury-prone by playing. That's how you work the kinks out. So my point is this. I just don't want it to backfire on the Clippers where they're load management to the point where they're behind in the standings, where they shouldn't be at, and possibly trying to pack all the games in at the very end. That's just not smart. So that's not a smart strategy.
I don't think the Clippers look at. I think the Clippers can beat any teams if they are healthy in the West. I think they believe that. That's why they don't care about standings. I think they believe they can go on the road and beat any teams. That's why.
What makes you? Why do you think they believe that, Bruce? What makes them believe that? They ain't proved nothing.
Here you go. Here why I'm saying that is because they believe they have a closer.
Okay.
They have the defense. They are long. And the Clippers is not built for the regular season. There are teams that are built for regular season. but the Clippers was not built for the regular season. I think it's a playoff. It was built for the playoff. Like, it's different in the playoff. Like, the game slows down. It's more about rebounds and defense. So they have players that rebounds. Everybody can rebound on the team, and they have defenders, and they are long. Like Batum, he's not gonna give you a lot of stuff for the regular season, but in the playoff, he's long. He can grab rebounds and can defend. So I think that's what's gonna happen. Like, that's your Lakers. Lakers, if they get in the playoff, they could be better. Because, but I don't think they're gonna go to the playoff. So,
no, the Lakers are, that's not even. Lakers are just
because you know why the Lakers not going to playoff? Not to change the subject. It's because one player is not the same player anymore. Just give the best player on the team. The best player on the team is AD, and LeBron cannot accept it in his mind. That's why you lost against the Sixers.
You know what? And I don't mean to change subject either. But the Lakers, what's funny is they're not losing bad. They're not losing by 20, 25. They're losing close games. So that tells you y'all don't have a closer. Young Africa. Y'all don't have one.
Hey, man.
Young
We've been in
Africa
every
knows
game
right.
except one game, the Utah game where we got blown out by Utah. That one game, outside of that game, the whole season, we've been competitive. And so the closing, I put that on the coach's system. Fourth quarter, late offense. You need to put your players in better position to score and to close games, and that's on coaching. Well, why are you so surprised, BJ?
What about LeBron?
Exactly.
Hey, he's taking bad shots. Yesterday he took some bad shots. No, there's no excuse for LeBron yesterday. He played bad. He took bad shots. And it honestly, when I was surprised when I was looking at Bron yesterday, he looked like he wasn't engaged. He wasn't no energy, no high intensity. And that's just like the greatness of LeBron. He can go out there, bullshit around, and still drop 25 points. You know what I mean? It don't mean nothing, bro. It don't mean nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
All these teams that the Lakers lost to, they lost to the Cavs a few nights ago. Donovan Mitchell went to 15 points in the fourth quarter. Where was LeBron?
He was there, but he wasn't really there, BJ. Yeah.
So he didn't close.
No, he didn't. No.
Hey,
we were down. We were down heavy late. There was nothing to close, man. We were down heavy.
Yeah, y'all was tied at fourth.
My God.
That was tied. Oh,
in the third. So LeBron needs to go bucket for bucket with Donovan Mitchell, right? The best young shooting guard in the game that you say, better than Devin Booker and all that. And so he needs to go bucket for bucket. That's what you're telling me, BJ? Come on,
called him the greatest player of all time. That's what you said.
People?
In year 20, come on, BJ. You can't hold your man accountable, Kawhi, but you're gonna tell me that year 20 LeBron needs to do things that Kawhi can't even do? Come on, bro. That PG can't even do? Come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on.
What up,
Hey,
Big Tony.
What's up, Al? Yeah, I was listening to y'all with this Paul George. I was listening.
Jimmy Butler. Yeah, we'll talk about
Paul George.
Here we go.
Yeah, you know I got to do it. He play for my team. I got to protect him. Y'all know how I do. I listened to you, nephew, and you went the entire career with Paul George, which is cool. But here's the thing. I don't know. I guess if you go by the NASDAQ, then you can say, Paul George shoot this. He got a higher percentage in this. But what do Paul
the NASDAQ
George
numbers?
Yeah, NASDAQ. Yeah. But what do Paul George do to better his team? Because see, here's what you got to go by. Yeah, Paul George do all that, and these are first option things. Well, you got to look at it. Okay, Jimmy never was the first option on none of his teams. But let me ask you. Let's start with the last before he went to the Bulls. Not Bulls. Before he went to the Sixers.
Right.
Was it Minnesota?
Minnesota. Yep.
Minnesota. And Cat was the first option, right?
Right.
Was Cat the first option? Let me ask you: Is Cat better than Jimmy Butler?
Nope.
But he's the first option.
True.
You feel me? You see how that don't work? Can Cat, even though he was the first option, can Cat take 9 G leaders to an Eastern Conference Finals and the finals?
Nope.
So you see what I'm saying when we say better player? It's not about being first option because some voting booth people like you more. It's about what you do once you get on that court. Now we go by Jimmy numbers, but let me dissect Jimmy numbers. And I'm just gonna start with, because my game, you know, we played Spurs in about 10, 15 minutes. I'm gonna go by Jimmy Butler's numbers.
Right.
That really don't show who he really is. And I'm gonna start with his quote just 2 days ago that he said when the reporter asked him. Jimmy said, well, first of all, can't nobody stop me if I want to score. I score when I want to score. Would y'all say that'd be true?
That's a fact. Yep.
Oh, okay then. So if that's a man who can score when he want to, but he don't give a damn about scoring, what do he do give a damn about? At the end of his quote, he said, winning my team. Let me specify that word. Team involved. Making sure that as a team, we're all clicking and on the same page. And when I'm ready to score, I'll score. Can Paul George do that?
I think Paul George is his main. I think he takes bad shots. He takes bad shots.
Yeah, but it's not about the shots. I'm not talking about the shots. In his career, since you went career, have you ever seen Paul George make the players around him better and play for the team, not individual stats?
Not like Jimmy.
Exactly. Like Jimmy. So when we say Jimmy is better, it's not based on NASDAQ numbers. It's based on the eye test, and when he get on that court, what he does for the players that surround him, no matter who they are. G leader or first pick. So that's what I say. No, Paul George is not better than Jimmy Butler. Not because Paul George can shoot. We know Paul George shoot better. I mean, come on. I mean, he got a better shot than Jimmy. But that's not all that good shot in his whole career. He's the better shot. He made all these points. Not once in his whole career, even when he had top picks around him, the Grangers, the big boy, the tall boy, the center that they had, all these picks around him, he still couldn't get his team to the finals. Jimmy had nothing but role players and got his team to the finals and twice to the Eastern Conference Finals. So that's what we talking about, team. That's why I don't get in when y'all start talking numbers. I don't play that number shit. And as y'all know on my stream, I don't even do that NASDAQ bullshit. Because it don't make it, it means nothing, especially when it comes to Jimmy Butler. Because he outright tell you, I don't give a fuck about numbers. But if I want them numbers, I can get them. And can't nobody stop me. But
I understand. I now understand. Now I understand what you. Okay, let me ask this question. So, would you say, okay, since winning is the main aspect, and take Jimmy over Paul George, would you say this Paul George is the more talented player?
Oh no, Paul George's talent as far as scoring and ball handling and all that. Yeah, I ain't never said that he wasn't. Far as that, he good ball handler. He'll definitely.
That's actually a negative for Paul George. You got more skill. You should be able to do more.
Right. It's almost right. It's almost what they call it, double-edged sword, because you can do all that. But even when you have first-round picks, third-round picks, second-round picks on your team, you can't take them nowhere.
That's the mentality part that we were talking about.
Right.
we and this is what it was weird. And I said this. I said you take the mentality and Jimmy Butler and put it in Paul George.
Right.
What would Paul George be?
If Paul George had the mentality of Jimmy, Paul George probably be about a 3 or 4 championship guy, especially with the players that he had around him in his career. He probably had about at least 3, the minimum 3 championship rings.
Yeah, are you gonna tell me, BJ, that Jimmy Butler with a prime Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony still getting buckets, Jeremy Grant on that team gonna get booted in the first round to the Utah Jazz? What?
The moments, the bubble, and then that 2017 Utah Jazz series is what really makes Paul George's career kind of flawed. I agree with that. The reason why I picked PG on is because the value he brings to my team, and I've seen him grow since the 2021 playoffs. Like, we all know he's had mental lapses, but what I saw after that playoffs against the Suns, where Kawhi went down and they had so many injuries and like all the backlash got off that bubble, I said, this guy grown up. I think he's grown, because some people mentally aren't born it. Like, Jimmy was born with that mentality,
right?
Like that underground mentality to destroy everybody. That's why I'm a fan of Jimmy Butler. But I think with Paul George, I think him toughening up the last couple of seasons, I think I can give the edge to PG, because the skill set, and you mix in the length, the size, the athleticism that goes with it, I can do more things with PG. Except Jimmy in the playoffs, the last 3 seasons, like, well, damn, he took his team to 2 conference finals. He took like, that's pretty damn impressive.
Right. And well, you got to take some points away. You got to take some points away from PG on the last game when they played us, bro. He mentally collapsed. Yeah, you got to take some points away. He mentally collapsed. And that's what I'm talking about, that ISO ball. They didn't play team ball down at the stretch.
Yeah.
He was doing too much ISO and mental breakdown, turnover. See, so you got to take a couple points away from that last game, man, and that's what we're talking about.
I'll say this: when Jimmy got that rebound over PG's, he took that shit. Like, I was, that's the mentality part.
Right. So that's what I'll be trying to tell Mookie and them, man. Stop it with the NASDAQ shit. That NASDAQ shit don't mean nothing, because. And even, a couple players that he like, he still, he's a Luka, and he's only, can them guys put them guys on Miami Heat? Let's go with Giannis. Just Giannis. Put Giannis on the Miami Heat. Could Giannis take 9 role players to the finals? Do y'all really believe
he doesn't really fit with that team? He doesn't really fit with that team, but I'm gonna say that he can take him to the conference finals, though. I would say that.
Okay,
I would say that.
That's the opinion. Okay.
What about Luka? What about Luka? Let's do Luka first. What you think?
No, Luka would never. Luka ain't gonna take nobody.
Nah.
He got lucky last year. Luka ain't take. Luka is 100% ISO. I don't even know why people. I don't know where this argument come from. This dude don't play team ball. Yeah, like any players, he pass it every now and then.
Right.
This dude don't play team ball.
He like a James Harden.
Yeah. So I don't, man. Look, just because he can score 40 points, 50 points, yeah, that's cute. Can you get your team to the next level? Because at the end of the day, bro, you need team ball. You need team, bro. Now, even though Jimmy did what he did, Jimmy still had the fortune with the good pickings, created good sharpshooters with Max Strus, Gabe, Caleb. You understand what I'm saying? So we just had the best role players of them all. You feel me?
Right.
And a system, again, is all two. It's all about your team system and development squad. See, all that plays a part, man. All that plays a part. Not just no one-on-one. I mean, if you talk talking one-on-one, yeah, you can say Luka, and you can say the boy Jokic, and you can say all of them one-on-one. But motherfucker, you need a team in this NBA to go to the next level. Yeah, Curry made it. Steph Curry made it different over there in Warriors. But could Curry do it without that young boy, Poole and Wiggins and Draymond? No, you need a team around you, bro.
Right.
And I just don't understand how young guys get to this ISO stuff. That's why I can't do that, man. Then everything is number. Oh, look at the statistic. This is he 35-point shoot for the. Come on, man, stop it, man. And then at the end of all that, did he win anything? No, he didn't win nothing. But look at his stats. Case closed. You just defeated your purpose. That's individual shit. Now they're gonna go down Q4 at the end of his career. You know, if he goes into the Hall of Fame or not. Yeah, all that's, don't get it twisted. All that's good individual at the end of your career to see if you go into the Hall of Fame. But as of right now, none of that shit mean nothing. Because your team ain't winning.
Kobe was saying it that the ISO thing, you're not gonna win a championship with it.
You're not gonna win. So, who know more than him? Because that motherfucker used to do that. Kobe was Kobe was a selfish motherfucker starting off. Believe me.
Right.
Ooh, Big Tony, you came cooking today, Big Tony. You came cooking.
Yeah, he did.
That's
man.
All.
When you put it,
but that's all we're saying. Not numbers, man. It's just what do you do with the team that you have around you? We know individual you can do something because we see, like I said, the numbers and all that. But you got 4 other guys out there, and then you got a bench that gonna come in, might be in there with you. What you gonna do to better them? Because you need them to win. Because as you can see, motherfuckers score 40, 50 points and still lose.
Do you think that that Jimmy being an underground guy mentality has given him success as a leader for a team like this?
Yeah. And that's what I love about Jimmy. Jimmy from this point on probably be the first player ever that could leave Miami, and I still will hope he succeed because of his mentality. This dude is truly, truly unselfish.
Over D-Wade?
That's a big one. That's a big one.
But D-Wade was, I knew D-Wade was coming back. He just wanted to do
D-Wade is not selfish. I can tell you that.
Oh, no. I said one. I ain't said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said Jimmy was one. Because D-Wade definitely wasn't selfish. Because if he was selfish, LeBron would have never got on that team. So he definitely wasn't selfish. But Jimmy, because his mental unselfishness, man. Now I ain't gonna cheer. I wouldn't cheer for him too much. Now I just say, okay, I like his mentality. Now he don't play for Miami. It's all over, bro. You done. But his mentality just shows who this guy is, and that's why they don't give his dude no respect, man. It's foreign. What Jimmy bring to the table is foreign to a lot of these people, because everybody used to the KDs and the Kyries and the LeBron ISO shit and just individual stats. Jimmy don't give a fuck about that. He don't. Now sometimes he little too much goddamn unselfish. Sometimes he end up hurting his team a little too much unselfish, and we've seen that in quite a few games. But that's just who he is, bro. He want to get his entire team involved to get their confidence up. That's a leader, bro.
Right.
That's a leader, man. I don't care about my scoring, because when I'm ready to score, get the fuck out the way. I got it. And who gonna stop me? Like you said, who gonna stop?
And that's something it's hard. You gotta be built a certain way to do that.
Right.
To know that you can dominate, to dominate a game, but to still say, I'm gonna still let Tyler get off. I'm gonna let Gabe get off. I'm gonna let Strus get off. I'm gonna let these other guys eat. And they probably love Jimmy Butler. I'm pretty sure they love him.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. Oh hell, especially when you talk about like a Strus and a Gabe motherfucker who came from the G League. Tyler was picked. You know what I'm saying? He was allowed. So them. Especially them G leaders and summer leaders. When you playing with a top notch guy You on a team like top-notch guy like Jimmy, and that motherfucker don't care if he shoot. He give it to you and want you shoot even before him. Oh, you will love that motherfucker, man. This dude give me the opportunity. I better take advantage of it.
Go ahead, Bruce.
I was gonna say I agree with you about Jimmy Butler. That's why I said he was top 5 player. But I think Paul George has been more as a team player the last couple of seasons. I think he's sometimes he differs so much.
No, deferring and being scared of the moment ain't being a team player, bro. That's two different things. When you ducking the shine and ducking the limelight when you meant to step up, that ain't being a team player.
When did he duck?
That's ducking the smoke, having fear in your heart. That ain't gonna get it done.
When did he duck?
After my game, man. My game's starting now, so I'll be back on my stream after my game.
I'll try to tag on tonight, huh?
Okay, babe. Peace.
All right, love.
No.
Wait, go ahead, Bruce.
When did Paul George duck?
No. So look, just this last game, right? This is an example of Paul George's career. He was matched up with Jimmy Butler straight up, didn't take the challenge on as an individual primary defender on Jimmy Butler. Didn't do that. That's one duck, right? Duck. That's straight duck. So when the guy sets a screen and you just don't fight over the screen, that's just straight ducking that heat, knowing that that's the guy that can beat you right now. So he didn't do that. Then he comes up the court, right? And he has ability to tie or go ahead in the game. And what does he do? Take bad shot, 3-point cop-out shots. And those 3-point shots for a talented guy like BJ says, right, that has the handle, has all that game, can take it to the rim, can dunk on guys, got a mid-range pull-up game, can even get into the post to be able to do all that. And you take a low-quality, low-percentage 3 pull-up that you don't even have to take being down 2 is cop-out, ducking. That's what I call that, bro. And that ain't good enough, man. And that's fear in the moment, man. That's not stepping up. A lot of things he ain't done in his career, man. And this is the great player we're talking about.
So is it fair? So since you want to name the times he didn't step up, didn't step up, and that's just one time, just recently? Can I name all the times he has recently?
All the times he has. Well, he stepped up in 2021 in the playoff series. He stepped up against Dallas. He stepped up against Utah. Yeah, he did that.
Phoenix, he stepped up.
That happens to a lot of players. That happens to every player.
Hold on. He led every category in the playoffs.
Oh, that's what we're doing now. So we gonna give him that LeBron James praise, right? The praise we don't give LeBron James, we're gonna give to Paul George in the conference final.
Not even the numbers part. He just was the best player on the court.
Oh,
he was the best player on the court.
Are you sure about that? He was better than Chris Paul and Devin Booker? I question that.
Go back and look. He was the best.
I question if it was better than Chris Paul, but yeah, fair enough. Even if I give you that, right? That's all good. Even if I give you that, being the best player on the court and not getting it done, like I can understand. You can still have a great series, right? You can still play great and lose, and he did that, right? But he lost. And so if he, you know what the narrative,
you said he ducked though. That's why Bruce asked you that question. When is he ducked?
No, in these last series in the last game that I saw, and there's many games I can't just say off the top of my head.
The bad game.
But there's been many games. There's been many games.
Hold on, they don't exist because
they do.
That's why you can't name them. You name three series right off the bat for him coming through the clutch, and I can name more.
So in that last game, right? In that series, that Phoenix series that you said he was the best player on the court. Was he even the best player? Was he even the best player in the last game of that series? Did he step up in that last game? Do you remember what happened in the last game?
No. We talking about Chris Paul was the best player in that game 6.
No. There's
a difference between ducking and having a bad game.
No.
It's between ducking and having a bad game.
That's my issue with what you were saying.
Yeah, you can't say the man. You trying to pile on the man and saying that he just scared him. No, he just had
scared the moment. Yeah.
He didn't play.
See, y'all give him passes that he shouldn't get. So this man, right? He's shooting over 20 times a game the whole series, right? Over 22 shots a game, and then in the last game of that series, he shoots 15 shots and lets Marcus Morris outscore him, bro. That is the definition of being scared of the moment, bro. What we talking about?
You said he's ducking. Ducking is not wanting to shoot. So he's shooting.
He did that. He only shot 15 times, bro. That ain't good enough, and you lost by 20.
That's not ducking. That's bad shot selection.
That's not ducking. He didn't take enough shots, bro. He took 15 shots, bro. What are we talking about?
What is ducking?
Just put your foot in your own mouth, young Africa.
Bro, how? Hey, ducking is not stepping up to the moment, not doing what you've been doing, and getting smaller in the biggest moments, bro. That's what that is.
Okay. Time out. Again, Bruce has been defending. This is how I know Bruce ain't lying, because he's been saying Jimmy Butler's a better player than Paul George. He would take him. But he's telling you the truth. He's telling you he had a bad performance. He did not duck from the moment. He shot the ball bad in that game, but he wasn't like looking not to score. He was just missing shots. That's what happened. You trying to pile on the man and say that, oh, he's scared.
You asked me for a moment.
We're not going with
I gave you a moment. What?
He had a bad game in game 6. That's it. That's all you need.
No. You can't do that, BJ. You asked me for a moment. I give you the moment, and then you just call it a bad game. No, he was taking 22, 23 shots a game. It comes to game 6, the biggest moment in his career in the conference finals. He takes 15 shots, gets outscored by Marcus Morris. Bro. Like, that ain't good enough, bro. Hold the man accountable and let him be known. That's evidence. That's called evidence. That's called evidence. Yes, it is.
He needs to understand and look up the word ducking and having a bad game.
Oh my! Hey, you know it's a bad game, BJ. If he takes 25 shots and hits 6 of them, that's fair enough. He went down swinging. This man took 15 shots, made six, and had 21 points, bro. That ain't good enough. He had the worst plus minus on the court. Worst plus minus for his team. Like, come on, bro. That's straight ducking, bro. What we talking about? Come on, bro.
Come on. Ducking.
How is it not ducking, bro? How y'all gonna spin it to not ducking, bro? How?
How many shots did he take in that game 6 closeout against
15 shots, bro. 15.
He took 15 shots in that game. That's not ducking. He had a bad shooting game. Shooting game.
Hey, in a game 6, hey BJ, you tell me. In a game 6, do you expect Paul George to only take 15 shots, bro? Is that what you expect from Paul George?
It's damned if he does do, damned if he don't.
No.
No. If he goes 6 for 20,
answer my question, my brother. Come on, why you gotta do all that, man?
No, because you trying to put him on 2. He shot 15 shots. He shot 6 threes. So you're not counting that a part of the shot selection as well. He shot 6 threes on top of the 15 shots.
No, that's a part of the 15 shots. Don't do that, BJ. It's not on top of the 15.
That's my point. He shot 6. Okay. He shot 6 shots. So he shot a total of 21 shots.
No, that's not what it means, bro. He shot that 6 threes is within the 15 shot attempts, bro. Field goal attempts. Threes are part of the field goal attempts, bro. I'm trying to tell you that.
The field goal percentage is 2-point shots. The 3-point shot is 3-point shots.
No, it's not, BJ. I'm looking at the box score. When you look at field goal attempts, it considers 3-point attempts, bro. Don't do that, BJ. Don't try and remix the numbers on me, BJ. Come on, bro. If he took 21 shots, that's a different discussion. He didn't do that.
Young Africa, let's not be box scores watchers. If you watch the whole series,
I remember the game.
Wait. When you watch the whole series, Paul George was playing heavy minutes. The last game, he was tired, dead tired. Wait. He was dead tired, and he was getting double team, triple team. Okay, let's not. I'm not blaming Paul George for that one. No, he was tired, dead tired. He was double team, triple team. He barely sat down on the bench. He was playing a lot of minutes.
I was gonna go to that, Bruce. I was gonna tag on to that, but you said it. So right here, you guys can see Paul George had 41 minutes. He took 6 for 15 from the 2.
From the field. It's field.
Hold on. The 6 shots he took from the 3 is separate.
No, it's not, bro. No, it's not.
Bro, it's in. I know what I'm talking about. It's in a different column. So that means they're separate. The field goal percentage is 2-point shots. If anybody in the comment in the live can go ahead and reconfirm what I said. If you take 15 field goal, that's 15 twos. The 6
it ain't.
3-point shots, 6 3-point. All right, man.
All right. So you telling me Marcus Morris shot 28 shots that game, bro? He took 28 shots?
Yes.
That's what you talking. No, come on, BJ. Come on, man. I hate to do this to you, but you dead wrong on this, BJ. You dead wrong, bro.
You didn't watch the game. You didn't watch the game.
You dead wrong, bro. Because if you put up the box score again, that means the team took like 120 shots in the game, bro. Come on, bro. I know you played the game, BJ, but you dead wrong on that, bro.
Let's not lie, man.
What?
Let's not lie. the Suns were double teaming, triple teaming Paul George. Okay, so Marcus Morris was wide open all the time.
Excuses. Hey, you get it done.
No,
Hey, you telling me you're the only man that ever got triple team? Hey, you know,
Wait. I don't make excuses for stars. And I said Jimmy Butler. I've been saying Jimmy Butler is better than Paul George. You can ask BJ. I've been saying that. But he was alone. He was the only guy. The other guys were not scoring. Okay? The game before, he spent all his energy. And the last game, he didn't have it anymore. He was empty. He didn't have it anymore.
You gonna mute me for these excuses, BJ? Okay.
You can't stop talking. You cannot stop talking. It's Bruce just put it eloquently for you. You have to watch the games of what actually was going down. And we're still stuck on the fact you said that he checked out, he was scared. That's what we're stuck on. That's why we're trying to figure out what in the hell are you talking about?
First off, I'm trying to figure out how you're a pro player, and all respect to you, but you can't read the box score correctly, man. I'm still stuck on that because when we talk about the game, right? When we talk about the game, LeBron James for his whole playoff career averaged 41 minutes a game. I ain't never heard Bruce, who LeBron James has way more of a load on the offense, ever claim tiredness as excuses for LeBron James. So keep the same energy, Bruce, when you talk about your favorite guys out here, Bruce. That's all I'm trying to say. Keep the same energy.
We never had to bring that up because it's never been talked about. We never questioned it. We've never questioned it. You talk to other people, and just the fact you put Paul George in that category just shows how much respect you have for him. But go ahead.
No, we talking about one series where he averaged 41 minutes a game, like, and he didn't have one. He didn't just drop 40 points in game 5 and just didn't have it for game 6, the biggest game. Like that sounds ridiculous.
You can that's what I'm saying. It's hard to be because when you have heavy minutes throughout the entire series, your legs can go at any time. You could tell his legs were gone in that game 6. And Chris Paul's legs were fresh. Game 5, Chris Paul had a bad game. What happened in game 6? He was the best player on the court. So just because you have a bad game one game doesn't mean the second game you're automatically going to finish off with a bad game. So
I don't think I ever blame LeBron for playing heavy minutes. I don't think I've ever done that. I never bring up, you see, if you notice, I never bring a LeBron against the Warriors in 2015. Why? Because he was alone. So if you listen to me enough, you will know that I never blame LeBron. I blame LeBron for stat padding. Okay, right? That's if you listen to me, Young Africa. I never blame LeBron for okay, he was alone, so he has to close it. I never said that.
Yep, he never said it. Nobody did. That's what LeBron James fans do, Bruce. They come up with scenarios in their own head. That's what they do. That's what they do.
Yo, man, I'm just amazed that y'all can have all these excuses for Paul George, but like you
I'm not making an excuse for Paul George.
That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying.
That's the way it was. It was only Paul George. It was only Paul George on the team that could score. Are you kidding me? You didn't watch the game, man. You didn't watch the game. It was only him. Every time they give him the ball, he had like 2 people on him. He had Michael Bridges and Crowder.
Reggie Jackson wasn't a good scorer for that team. What? Reggie Jackson wasn't a good scorer? Come on, Bruce. What?
Come on, man. Really?
No.
Yeah. Yes. Really. Yes.
He was in Spurs. He was a good scorer in Spurs, but he was not the guy that was doing anything in that. We're talking about specific because you brought up game 6.
That whole playoff run, but even that whole playoff run, even that series, but yeah, game 6 as well. But yeah, that whole playoff run, was he not supported and being the second option on that team in terms of offense, bro? Yeah. Like he was doing that. We're talking about nobody. When you say nobody on his team, that ain't right, bro. No, Reggie Jackson on that team. Marcus Morris can shoot.
Like saying that you need a layoff of what you said again. We're stuck on the fact that you said that he ducked, which I don't understand how you came to that conclusion. That he ducked game 6 when we just told you that he was obviously doing everything else on the court, rebounding, assisting, playing defense. So excuse me if I don't take as many shots as I did the game before. I'm trying to find other ways to help the team win.
You want me to give you want me? Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
Young Africa, you want me to give you somebody who ducked? Okay. When LeBron had Steph Curry and he passed the ball, that's ducking.
Okay.
He had Steph Curry one-on-one with the game on the line. He passed the ball. That's ducking. Right?
That is ducking. Because you just had opportunity. Ducking is when you have an advantage and you don't choose to take the opportunity to capitalize it. That's ducking.
Hey, technically a great play on the court always has an advantage, right? So like literally, like every moment he has an advantage over other guys.
Did LeBron duck in Africa?
So we're talking about game 1, right? Where he dropped 51 points, right? That's the game, right? Bruce? 51 points.
51 and 1 ducking.
Yeah. So you had 51 points. The man most likely played over 45 minutes a game, right? We're doing everything on literally every possession. No, I'm just using y'all logic.
See, this is why I can't. This is why I can't deal with Young Africa, because we just said that. Bruce, did we just not say that? We just
was
said
he tired, bro?
He did the same thing, but he says excuses. But when you ask him the same question, did LeBron duck? Oh, he played 4.
No, I'm asking you. No, he made the right basketball play. That's what LeBron did.
He did the same thing. He played 41 minutes in that game as playmaking, being and rebounding the ball.
2 assists ain't playmaking, but okay, 2 assists.
He was the point guard bro.
Paul George had 2 assists, bro, that game. Like, what do you mean playmaking, bro?
He was the point guard of the team. Nobody you got to make shots. Again, playmaking is not about assisting. Playmaking is about setting your teammates up to be successful. That's what playmaking is. You got to still make the shots for it to count for an assist, right or wrong.
True.
So just because you don't have a high number of assists don't mean you're not playmaking.
So LeBron James only had 30 seconds of rest in that game, bro. So are you gonna say that LeBron was tired, Bruce? Are you gonna say that, Bruce? Huh?
How many rests Paul George had in that game? How many times? How many?
He had a whole 6 minutes, bro. Like that's a lot. That's a lot. 7 minutes, man.
That's a lot. 6 minutes is a lot out of 48 minutes.
Compared to 30 seconds. Compared to 30 seconds. I'm just saying.
6 minutes. No. Because so Paul George ain't supposed to be tired.
No. That is a lot of minutes, no doubt. I'm just saying, compared to 30 seconds, it's a lot.
Game 1, right? Game 1.
And the difference in that game, right, is LeBron James shot 32 times. 32 times. He was 60% from the field, 51 points, one of his greatest games of all time. And at the end of the day, he didn't get it done. People hold it against him. He didn't get it done. And if you want to call that ducking, bro, fair enough.
He ducked.
Okay. Hey, honestly, I would have liked, Bruce, if you want to call it ducking, to what I'm holding, the stand I'm holding PG, that is ducking. But at the end of the day, I would have liked him to take that shot too. I really wish he would have taken that shot because you fired the whole game. But at the end of the day, Paul George taking 15 shots in Game 6 against Phoenix Suns in the conference final, that ain't enough, man. Ain't enough.
Showtime said we comparing PG to LeBron. Now that's why I don't take him.
Nah. No, Bruce brought up LeBron James. Not me. I already know he ain't on that level.
So this is what we say at Showtime. We're saying that PG in that game, because Young Africa said that PG has been trying to flake and not actually, not showing up to games because he's been scared of the moment. And then Bruce asked, well, when has he been scared of the moment recently? And then Young Africa just kept deflecting. And we have to explain to him it's a difference between having a bad game and actually, not showing up and being scared of the moment. It's a difference. He's trying to pile on.
Yeah. Look, I can give you another example of LeBron ducking. He ducked Dirk Nowitzki.
He sure did. Right. That was the worst finals.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point, though. Y'all got all this smoke for LeBron James, but y'all don't keep the same energy for your man, Paul George. That's all I'm saying. Y'all can have that smoke, but at the end of the day, hold your mans accountable because he had a lot of low lights. He had low lights in OKC, didn't step up. He had low lights in the Clippers. Like, he been doing that. So just hold him accountable, just like y'all do LeBron James. That's all.
I'll say this. Let me say this. I said PG, his efficiency is what kills me. This is why I hold him accountable. His efficiency kills me, and his decision-making kills me. That's the thing I will say kills me about Paul George. But I'm not going to allow somebody to continue to pile on him, calling him way off P, pandemic, all that shit. That to me is overdoing it. that's something that's just trying to look for a title. The man erased that title back in 2021, critique his game honestly, and just, give him the same criticism you'll give one of your favorite players. You got to kill the man. Yeah, he ain't been scared. He just had bad playoff moments.
What's the difference, bro? Come on, man. Hey, you know why I say scared, bro? When you play great for a regular season, right? When you play great for certain games, and then you come into the biggest moments in your career and you don't step up, that's scary, bro. What is that? When Kawhi Leonard carried Paul George in the 2020 finals, right, against the Mavericks, like when he carried him in that series, what does that mean, bro? Like you don't even play your best game, and you still won, but that's still a low moment.
Time out. Okay.
What?
Bruce, go ahead. I'm gonna respond after. Go ahead.
Okay.
That was not ducking. He was just having bad games. That's not ducking, man. What is the definition of ducking? Ducking is avoiding something. What was Paul George avoiding? He was not avoiding the basket.
It's a little good, man. What's good, bro?
He was just playing bad. That's not ducking.
Bro, he wants to go back to 2021, and y'all keep hitting that like button. The first 3 games of that series against the Mavericks, PG was playing well those first 3 games. Mm-hmm. Game 4, he had 19 points. He didn't have a 20 point, but after that, he was finding other ways to be effective on the court. So he wasn't ducking he was shooting the ball bad. That's not ducking.
Yeah, I guess my understanding of the word ducking might be off, but essentially he comes up small in the biggest moments, bro. He scored 14 points in that second. He didn't play good in the first 3 games. There was a game where Kawhi took over. He dropped like 35 points, and Paul George had 14 points on like more shot attempts than how many points he scored.
Which game was that?
This is 2020 Dallas, right? Game. Let me look it up. 2020.
Talk about the bubble.
2020 Dallas, game 2. Definitely talking about 2020 Dallas.
Oh my God,
bro, you just picking and choosing certain games.
Who won that series?
I'm giving you all this evidence. Y'all mad at the facts though? This ain't me. This is the facts, bro. This is what's on his record. How many bad games you gonna give this man, bro? What are we talking about?
We can say that about every players in the NBA. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant.
Nah.
Steph Curry. Come on, man.
Bad game.
The thing is that they've proven themselves, though, Bruce. This man ain't never proved himself, so hold him accountable to that, bro. Y'all talking about bad game here and there like he's a champion. The man ain't won, bro. Y'all crazy out here.
You don't have to prove yourself. You can have bad games, even if you prove yourself. Whether you prove yourself or not, you're gonna have bad games.
It's different though. When you're a champion, it's different. That means you're proving at the highest level.
I'm gonna be honest. I want you to be straight up because I feel like you tiptoeing, tap dance, and all that. You're not doing that.
Now
you're trying to add in championship. We're talking about, does Paul George does he freeze out of the moment? Does he not want to be? He hasn't ever been that type to be scared to shoot the ball. He's never been that type of player. He's just had games where he shot inefficient. That's why I just was honest. The thing that killed me about PG is his inefficiency. That's it. That's all you can really say. You're picking and choosing 1 or 2 games out of an entire 7-game series to try to make your argument that does not fit. Showtime just said it. 2021 PG scored double digits every game in the playoffs. Who cares about 20? Who cares about 2020?
Who cares about 2020? The people that care about facts, Showtime. No fanboys that be picking and choosing what you want to care about, nigga. That's who.
Bro, you
hating ass niggas. Look, hey, Paul George has played 20 elimination games in his career. 20, right? Elimination games. Biggest moments, right? Statmuse.com. All the facts all up in this, right? You know what his percentages are, bro? From the field, he shoots 43%, 43% in elimination.
I gotta stop you right there. I gotta mute you because you're gonna keep going. He just said percentages. That's what we're trying to tell you. Is an inefficiency is bad. He's not taking 5, 6, 7 jump shots, young Africa. He's taking multiple shots, and yet he's taking multiple shots and having bad games. That's it. But if you're going to do that, make sure you add in the games that he actually shot the ball well. That's all I gotta say about that. Go ahead.
All elimination games. All elimination games in his career, bro. Like elimination games, 20 elimination games from 2011. These are the facts. He played in 20. The biggest moments, right? Do or die, right? Well, what does he do? He shoots 43% from the field, right? He averages 21 points a game and doesn't get it. There's games where he was in OKC. He had 5-point games against Utah Jazz. He had a 5-point closeout game. In Miami, the all-time great guy that you're talking about, Indiana Pacers, he had 7-point games in closeout games. Like, come on, bro. Y'all talking about this man like he get it done. There's evidence right here and right now that this man shows up small in them games, bro.
So, again, this is all the games he played against the Dallas Mavericks. He scored over 20 points in every single of the games he played in that bubble, even in his worst time, his worst moment. So, this is his stats in that series. So, you're talking about game 2. He had 28 points in game 2 and 12 rebounds. Or is that games? What is that? This is the 2021. This is 21-21 Western Conference Finals against the Dallas Mavericks. This is all the games he played against the Mavericks.
2020. I was saying 2020. Well, why are you bringing up 2021? I said 2020 Dallas.
2021 is more recent than 2020. Why would you bring up 2020?
Okay.
Why would you bring up 2020? And okay, so is it about closeout games or is it about because you said game 2?
No, that yeah, that's another game that you asking me the evidence of when he came up small, right? But if you want to talk about closeout, that's one closeout game where he played well. Okay.
You keep changing. You said first you said game 2 and then you saying closeout games. So which one is it?
No, because you were talking to me. I said game 2, right? And then you're saying bad games, right? You're talking about these are individual bad games. Okay, right. Fair enough. So I brought up his whole career elimination games and told you he shoots 43% from the field, something that he ain't do in his career. When you talk about the rest of his career, where this man actually shoots.
No. Bring up his whole stats, and you can't do that. You're picking what categories to go off. You want to try to make him look bad. I said look at all his games in the playoffs to make a valid argument. You can't just pick closeout games.
Oh, why not? We're talking about the biggest moments, bro. How can when we talk about the biggest moments, what's bigger than the closeout game? You want me to bring up first round game 1s in the first round? Come on, bro. Come on, man. I said he's ducking. You said he ain't. It's all good, bro.
Change the narrative. You'd be changing.
No.
It's changing right now. You keep changing it.
I'm sorry, Doc Rivers. I'm sorry about your daughter.
Changing it.
No, I'm not, man. Because the whole point, right? We're talking about is ducking in the biggest moments. He doesn't. In the biggest moments.
Please pick a criteria and stick to it. Yeah, I'm not with this moving. Yes, you moving the goalposts.
How, bro? I said he ducks in the biggest moments. You said he ain't scary individual games, right? So then I bring up his closeout elimination games. Y'all telling me I'm moving the goalposts, bro? Yo, man, I'm sticking to the point. I proved the point. Y'all just mad, bro. Just admit it, man. Just admit the fact. He doesn't step up. So good.
First of all, you said this is how I know you trying to pick and choose. Now it's about closeout game, but it started off with you saying him not taking on Jimmy Butler in a regular season game. Is a regular season game a closeout game?
No. So I gave an example. No, it's not. Okay, no, it's not. Go ahead.
So that's what Pagan, what Eddie said. Pick a criteria and stick to it. You keep changing it.
What criteria, Pagan? What criteria? Because the point was in the biggest moments, the point why I talk about Jimmy Butler is we didn't have to go far for the evidence I was talking about. But then you said individual game, individual moments. Then I bring up the playoffs, individual games, bad games. Then I bring up the elimination games. Oh, now you're moving the goalposts. Come on, bro. Stay with me. Keep it 100. Y'all might not like the voice that says it. The messenger, but hear the message, bro.
Games, bro. We said bad games. Him shooting the ball bad, which I've already said is inefficiency. I gave you that, but I'm not giving you him being scared or shy from the moment. I'm not doing that. That's dumb. That's all your opinion. If you shoot 15, 20 shots and you're actually being active while I'm watching, you're not running from. You're just having a bad game. That's what PG's had. He's had bad games throughout his career, but he's had a hell of a lot of good games in the playoffs in his career. And we're not going to just slide that over to the side, just try to, move your argument. We can't do that. We got to keep it 100 all year around the globe. But we got pretty much anything else anybody want to talk about, man. We're going to go ahead and conclude this episode. The Clippers, where do the Clippers end up this year? The load management situation. Are you taking Jimmy Butler or Paul George? comment section. Let me hear you. The last few minutes of the show.
Yeah. California team right now is that's tough. It's between the Clippers and the Warriors. I don't know about any Clippers.
Man, well, it's the Warriors because they got the championship, but won the series
because of the load management, I cannot buy tickets to go see the Clippers because that Kawhi is playing. That's why I want to see play. So that's why I haven't gone to a game yet because I don't know when Kawhi is gonna play or not. So I have to look closely when Kawhi plays and doesn't play.
Yeah, you might have to. It's so bad, bro. You might have to buy a ticket the day before. You can't buy tickets like the beginning of the year because
that's why I haven't been to a game yet, man.
Yeah.
And I was worried when I went to see the Warriors in Houston. Like I was like, oh no, I forgot that they may rest. Whatever, but I was lucky they played. But,
the Pelicans are good, bro. That's the only team in the West to me. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think the Pelicans are the only team in the West that would give the Clippers trouble because of the matchup problems. That's the only team in the West that'll give us the matchup problems. What's funny?
I'm just surprised that you still rated Clippers so highly, my brother. That's all.
I'm surprised you put the Lakers that high. So there's not 9 things in the world.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Young
I sound ridiculous. I admit I sound ridiculous right now. I admit that. But yeah, you also sound ridiculous is all I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? But
No, I don't sound ridiculous because again, the Clippers have more to look forward to than the Lakers. Anybody could have told you the Clippers would have been better than the Lakers, bro. Off of the straight 9 victories they've had head-to-head against the Lakers proves who's a better team.
Individual matchups, y'all been a better team, but it's all good though. You told me that Kawhi is going to be better than LeBron James this season, and I'm looking more right than you right now. So don't call it too early, BJ. I might still be right about the Lakers going further than the Clippers this season. I might be right about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Young
Africa, I don't think you watch the games, man. I don't think you watch the games. You watch both scores.
Bruce. I don't think.
Why do you say that, BJ? Huh?
Really, I watch the games.
Why do you say that?
You don't watch the games, man. You don't watch the games.
So LeBron is 10-14. They're 10-14 right now, and LeBron's played the majority of these games.
If you watch the games, you will see that LeBron is hurting the Lakers every time he's on the floor.
He's not playing great, man. He's not playing great. That's fair enough, man. But you know what the box score wouldn't tell me is that last game when Paul George was choking in the fourth quarter and Jimmy Butler wouldn't tell me. You know how Jimmy Butler had 4 steals in the box score. You know one of them was when he ripped Paul George, bro. Yeah, I remember that. So I do watch the games, bros. Not even just my team. I'll be watching the Clippers too, bro.
How did the rip come, Young Africa? How do you rip Paul George? What was the play? Walk me through the play.
How'd he rip him? Paul George, ball handle, trying to make a play, trying to make a pass, ripped was what happened.
No, that's not what happened. Paul George dribbling the ball, double team coming. Jimmy Butler on upside defense rips Paul George.
Yeah.
That's what Bruce, he be trolling, Bruce.
No, I watched the game. I remember. So I need to break down the coverage. All I'm saying is that he ripped him. Paul George got ripped by Jimmy Butler, and on top of that, we know that Paul George ain't great with the double teams. They Miami Heat knew that. Great call by Eric Spoelstra. Like that's what happened, bro. That's what happened.
Yeah. Okay.
You keep ripping Paul George, but if you had a choice, you take Paul George on the Lakers.
You know you would.
Yeah. I would take a lot of players on the Lakers right now. We haven't got many elite players like that, you know. But you know what I am doing, Bruce? I'm taking LeBron James over Paul George right now. I'm doing that.
What?
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
LeBron James is not better than Paul George right now. I'm sorry. And I'm fair. I'm fair to everyone.
Africa.
He might not be playing better, bros, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to the playoffs, he will be better. He will be better.
He see what he did. See, he say when he knows deep down inside he's not better, he wants to always not playing better, meaning that there's a chance he's gonna be better all of a sudden. Bro, young Africa, man. This is 2022, like Pagan 180 said. This ain't 2012. This ain't 2015. This ain't 2018. This is 2022. This ain't 2018. He just play Paul George a few weeks ago in the Clippers one.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
So does that mean because Jimmy Butler just beat Paul George, so Jimmy Butler's better? Is that the logic we're going with, BG? Okay,
No,
BJ.
well, here's the thing. They play again in a couple weeks, I think, or next week. They play again. I think it's gonna be very different.
Okay.
It's gonna be very different. But,
fair enough, man. You know, it's gonna be interesting, man. But I feel like there's many more threats than just the Pelicans for the Clippers, bro. Memphis is a threat. Denver Nuggets ain't a good matchup. Phoenix is a threat. Even you know what, Dallas. Yeah. Phoenix is most definitely a threat to the Clippers. Most definitely.
Yeah. Okay. I think Phoenix is better without Chris Paul. I'm sorry to say that.
Phoenix's problem is they're soft. That's why I'm not worried about them. Dallas.
Phoenix is a regular season team.
Yeah, they're a regular season. Dallas we have their number. They can't beat us because we have too many long 3D defenders. The Memphis Grizzlies are entirely too young. They're not going to be able to contend with our experience and our youth. The Pelicans are the only team, in my opinion, have the experience with CJ McCollum. And the youth, John Williamson is the inside presence because our weakness is, of course, our interior. So you got big guys for the Pelicans that's able to exploit that. I think the Kings, I think the Kings will be exciting to watch, but I don't think they're going to do nothing with the Clippers. The Warriors, they always can get hot. So they're always going to have a shooting chance. But I've seen Kawhi take their lunch money every time he plays them. So I got him on my side. So I'm not really concerned. Denver maybe if Jamal Murray comes into his own, they'll give us some trouble. But I'm still sticking with the Pelicans. They're probably the only team that's gonna give us matchup problems.
Okay. I noticed you didn't mention the Lakers.
Lakers gonna be at home. Lakers gonna be at home.
The Lakers. Okay.
They're gonna be at home watching.
Come on, man. The Lakers. You don't even believe that, man.
Anthony Davis don't give y'all matchup problems? Like, come on.
Y'all shoot y'all own stuff in y'all foot.
Okay. Lakers. Anthony Davis has LeBron matchup. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Bro, hey Bruce, you know what? I don't think the Lakers. It's a shock if they beat the Clippers. I think they look at the games and they like the Clippers give them the game, and the Lakers don't want to take it. That's how demoralized they are at these head-to-head matchups. I don't think the Lakers feel like they can beat the Clippers. I don't think they do.
The Lakers' problem is LeBron James. The best player is scared of LeBron James. The coach is scared of LeBron James.
How you gonna be scared of the guy you coach? No order on your problem is y'all have no order. Y'all Africa, y'all have no structure.
If AD had the ball last night, there's no way you don't beat the Sixers. The Sixers are not that
good, really. Joel Embiid ain't that good, Bruce.
I said the Sixers. I didn't say Embiid.
Okay. I'm just saying. Nah, they're a contender in the East. I don't know how you underrating the Sixers like that.
Yeah, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, they're a contender in the East, most definitely. Joel Embiid playing like this. James Harden getting back. They still got Maxey out. Tobias Harris, the best fourth option in the game. Like they looking nice, bro. Like, y'all tripping. Tobias Harris, as I heard, just like us, the best fourth option in the game, bro. That's the best fourth option on offense you can get in the league, bro.
I don't think he's a fourth. I think it might be a fifth.
Who's ahead? You got Harden, you got Embiid, you got Maxey, and then it's Tobias Harris, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. You think he's a fifth? Don't disrespect him like that. He's a great player. He's a number 2 on a lot of teams, bro, in the league right now, bro. Like you're tripping, Bruce. You're tripping.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got a lot of high hopes for Philadelphia. You know, they can make
I think the Nets are better than the Sixers.
No way. the Nets cannot match up with Joel Embiid. He be dropping 40 points a game in that playoff series, bro. No way.
Okay.
No way.
We'll see.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Africa, you sad, man.
Nah, man. Hey, man, it's all gonna show itself. You know what I mean? Just like I tried to tell you that LeBron James is gonna be better than Kawhi Leonard this season. It will all reveal itself slowly, so it's all good.
Bro, he played. Kawhi only played 5 games.
He ain't been better, bro. That's all I know.
You gotta give him, bro. You gotta give him an actual sample size, bro. That's a bad example, bro.
Okay.
By the end of the season, bro, just watch it by the end of the season.
Okay, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. And I'm not even gonna say like who had the greater in terms of production season. I'm gonna just say who played at a higher level, LeBron or Kawhi, and we're gonna see. Because if he's that guy that you say he is, he gonna look like a top 5 player at a certain point during the regular season, right, BJ?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. I hope he does, man. I hope he does. I hope we meet in the first round, BJ. I'll be trying to tell you. I hope y'all not trying to bust y'all asses to make the playoffs. I hope y'all don't have to grind hard.
My wish is that the Clippers play the Lakers in the first round. That's my wish.
Okay.
But y'all got to make the playoffs for that to happen.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and end the live here, man. Always appreciate y'all coming through, man. Bruce, y'all Africa. More people come in would be actually great. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all coming in. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be talking about the Boston Celtics. Is Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum the best duo in the NBA?
Yeah, they're gonna lose tonight. So.
Yep. Shout out to you, BJ. Pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up an empty trophy cabinet for the Clippers. We out.
Don't pull up the cap. All right. Good night.
Oh, great show, man. Great show. Sharp Tongue 1 said the Warriors take is hilarious. Okay, man. Appreciate the comment. LeBron has not acknowledged that this time has passed. It needs to be a second field. Yeah, that's the Lakers. They got if LeBron's a second option, bro, you're in a great position. You're in a great position. Russ is a better individual player, but John Wall's a better team player and has a higher IQ than Russ. Same with Jimmy and PG. Okay, great comment. Appreciate you, man. Yes, they're the best two-way duo. Brown and Tatum. Okay, we'll be talking about the Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum tomorrow, man. Me and my boy Rick will be back tomorrow with our show. I will put the link out tonight about the time, so make sure y'all stay tuned for that, man. Make sure y'all share the link with y'all family and friends, as well as y'all be safe on this Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, man. Pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up. Peace out of here like swim well.